Fall is for planting, and Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center is making it the best time of year to grow. For a limited time, enjoy 40% off select trees, shrubs, and perennials. That's pretty much their entire plant inventory. So whether you're adding curb appeal, refreshing your garden, or planting for the future, they've got the quality, selection, and savings you've been waiting for. Don't miss the fall planting sale at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, where your garden begins to grow. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, growing with you this fall. Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofframesfest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. I'm not going to lie to you guys today. I'm sick. I'm not feeling very well. Because I had to wake up this morning and look myself in the mirror and say the Green Bay Packers are the best team in the NFC North. I'm disgusted, guys. I don't want to say it. I don't want to admit it. And you guys know very well, if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. But watching Green Bay last night destroy that Commanders team and their hopes and will, how can we not sit here and say the Green Bay Packers are not only legitimate title contenders, but the best team in the North, potential favorites in the NFC? Hell, Vegas thinks that they are. Super Bowl odds, NFC North, NFC odds. The Packers and the Eagles are tied for the shortest odds. My God, Jerry Jones, you ruined my life. You don't know who I am by any means, but you ruined my life. Because I got to sit here and tell the people of the Great Lakes Bay region that the Packers are better than the Lions, unfortunately. I didn't even believe it at first on Sunday. Like, that was so much more a Lions issue than it was the Packers are good. But then after last night, the Packers look like this absolute juggernaut of a team. Micah Parsons is a one-man wrecking crew. Kyle, I've got a crazy Micah Parsons number for you that, like, I don't even know if you're going to believe this. J.J. Watt, in his 3 Defensive Player of the Year seasons, I was curious, so I looked it up this morning, had a pass rush win rate of 10%, 17%, and 17%. Those are the 3 years he won Defensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons, the last 3 years, 20% pass rush win rate, 24% pass rush win rate, and then 19% pass rush win rate. Let's say that 3 times really fast. I was dumbfounded by the way that Micah Parsons was playing football last night. They'd try to have a running back come and chip him to give him an extra block. Did nothing. He'd throw them backwards with ease. Meanwhile, he's making an offensive tackle regret every decision he's made in life. He's being double-teamed with the guard and the tackle. It doesn't matter. He just gets right through him, whether it's with bend, whether it's with speed, whether it's with power. I mean, this guy does hold the NFL record for most pressures in a regular season. RIP to Aiden Hutchinson's season from 2024 when he was on pace to smash that. But, man, you watch Micah Parsons play last night in just 44 snaps, has the 8 pressures and a half sack. It's like this Green Bay defense is playing 1.5 steps ahead of the Commanders, who struggle to move the ball up and down the field. They couldn't run the ball at all. And obviously the Lions couldn't run the ball at all. I've been thinking all week that, hey, this interior of the offensive line for the Lions is a major problem. I wake up today in a much worse mood because, well, I have to live with the fact that the Packers are a legitimately good team. But maybe that Packers defensive front, this Packers defense is just like one of these units that we're going to remember for a long time. They're playing with speed. They're playing with power. They've got 5 guys at the point of the tackle every single play. I don't know if I feel any better about the Lions if the Packers are this good, because I can live in a world when the Lions regress a little bit. I don't think I can live in a world where the Lions regress a little bit and the Packers look this dominant. I'm sick to my stomach this morning thinking about Green Bay Packers and Micah Parsons. I hated every second of watching last night, other than just kind of appreciating Micah Parsons for how much of an animal he is, because it felt like every snap he was out there, he was making 1 to 2 to 3 different Commanders' lives absolute hell.
Yeah, and it came down to the final play as well. I mean, even on that last drive when the Commanders obviously probably weren't going to come back into the game, but Micah Parsons almost gets a sack on Jaden Daniels on his final play, and he throws the ball 5 yards short of Terry McLaurin. Like, it's hard to separate, like, your Packers hate, I guess if you want to just word it that way, from witnessing a really good player, you know? It was like the people that always hated, like Boston Celtics fans in the early 2010s, you know, when you hate LeBron James as much as you do. Like, you have to separate witnessing greatness from actually the team that it's against. So, yeah, that was the part about it all that it made it very frustrating, just because, wow, Green Bay is just definitely, if not the best team in the NFC, one of the better teams in the league as far as how are they able to stop the run as good as they have without Kenny Clark?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know. It's infuriating to me to wake up this morning and have to kind of deal with that. Because like I said, I could have lived with the fact that, you know, the Lions are taking a step back. I think we all kind of predicted that at some point. But that living in the same timeline as the Packers being a dominant team, I mean, come on, what are we doing? This is, you know, the Ben Bosscher Show live on a Friday here in the Great Lakes Bay region. I'm excited to do a show, but we had to start with that game last night because gross. Like, genuinely made me want to throw up in my mouth watching this, because it's like, as the game goes on and on, the Packers defense is now not once but twice made offenses that felt good about themselves coming into the season, it made them look straight up bad. Like the Commanders last year, unstoppable on 4th down. Not last night. The Commanders last year, over 30 points a game. Not last night. We took their over, kind of anticipating this team was going to get on track, short week. They should be able to move the ball up and down the field. They couldn't score at all. They couldn't even move the ball up and down the field. And that final score looks a lot closer than that game actually was.
Yeah, Packers dominated.
The Packers nearly doubled the Commanders in total yards. That last drive basically, made sure that didn't technically happen. But total domination by this Packers team. I'm not sure if Jordan Love is actually good, though. He's either a really athletic Derek Carr or he's really smart Jameis Winston. Either way, he's constantly looking for the deep ball. Like, it feels like 2 to 3 times a drive, he's going to just huck that thing down the field. And I was jealous. I was jealous. We didn't get that Jared Goff. And not that, Jared Goff throws a really good deep ball. I don't know how much of that we're getting if the interior of the offensive line is going to lose so fast like they did on Sunday.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm just – it's kind of weird that that's the part of the game of the Packers that you're jealous of, because I'm jealous of everything else. I'm jealous of them having Micah Parsons, man. And, we have Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not sitting here complaining about what the Lions have defensively, but, God, when you watch that guy play, it's just why –
it's different.
Why was he ever traded? That's just what's continuously running through your head, and why was he traded to the team that you despise the most?
He's different. Like, J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, all those guys are phenomenal at what they do. There's something about Micah Parsons that's just a little different than those guys. And I'm never going to, I don't want to say never, but nobody's close to touching Aaron Donald for me as the best defensive player I've ever watched. But, man, some of the stuff that Micah Parsons does on a play-to-play basis where, you're watching 2 guys double-team him and a running back or tight end trying to chip block on him just to slow him down a little bit, and it doesn't. He still ends up finding a way to get to Jaden Daniels, who he only sacked him a half time yesterday, but, how many plays was Jaden Daniels completely impacted by Micah Parsons destroying one of his offensive tackles right back into him? And then the thing with Jaden Daniels, too, is, he couldn't figure out how to get more than 5 yards on the ground. There was no explosive plays for him. Not only were the Packers bottling up Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz and stopping the run game with the rookie, and then obviously Eckler goes down at the end, pretty tough for him. Not only were they shutting that down, but the last thing you always have to worry about with this Commanders team and any team that with a quarterback as mobile as Jaden Daniels is just when you think we've covered up everything, we got to worry about Daniels. They had him bottled up. He didn't do anything yesterday with his with his feet.
Really, yeah.
Well, even when he tried to scramble, it was hey, man, you can have 2-3 yards here, but we've got guys waiting for you. It felt like the Packers were playing with 13 guys on the field yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can put it.
And offensively, LaFleur was in his bag, too. I mean, they had that Wildcat play that was just – it was a crazy good play. Obviously, they were doing a really good job of getting Kraft in space. It's a scary thought to see how good Green Bay has played through the first 2 weeks of the year. Not just because it's the first 2 games, but the 2 teams they played against. I mean, these were 2 of the best offenses in the league last year, just 2 of the best teams in the NFC in general last year, and they've handled both of them.
I'm disgusted. I really am. I opened the show that I'm sick. I was physically not doing well last night watching that. I was sick to my stomach knowing that I had to get up and do a show the next day and talk about this stupid Green Bay Packers team and their stupid quarterback and their stupid head coach. I don't hate a lot of things in life. I really don't. I try to be an insightful person. I try to, spread love in this world that has a lot of hate. But I hate the Green Bay Packers, man. I can't stand the fact that this team looks like a juggernaut through 2 weeks. So before we jump into the Lions, before we jump into Michigan, Central Michigan, and we're going to have a couple guests on as well. Axe Bowl weekend here in the Great Lakes Bay region. We're going to talk to Saginaw Valley State's head coach a little bit later on in the show. Jeremy Reisman's going to join us at 9:30. Before we jump into that, doesn't it feel like it's Ravens, Bills, Eagles, Packers, and then everybody else? Does anyone else belong in that top tier right now? And I know we're through 1 week and we've seen 2 teams play 2 games, but it does feel like those 4 teams are kind of levitating above everyone else right now. That next tier is Chiefs, Bucks, Rams maybe. But, man, those 4 teams feel like they're head and shoulders above everybody else right now.
Yeah, I agree. And that's it's weird not including the Chiefs in that group, and it hurts not including the Lions in that group. But how can you include either of those teams right now? Those 4 just really look like the juggernauts currently.
989-837-6125. You feel better or worse about this Detroit Lions team after watching Green Bay annihilate the Commanders last night on Thursday Night Football? 989-837-6125. It's a must-win game for the Lions this weekend with Chicago coming to town. Ben Johnson here. We're going to hear from the DC, Calvin Sheppard a little bit later. We've got some audio from his press conference yesterday. Johnny Morton, a little bit of pressure on him as well. We'll talk to Jeremy Reisman from PrideOfDetroit.com in about 15 minutes. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt. The Packers may make us frown, but hopefully Michigan State, the Lions, all picking up wins this weekend. That's going to make us smile, and bright smiles start at Scott Family Dental, where comfort care and clean teeth come at a standard. Locally owned by Brandon Scott, a native of the Great Lakes Bay region, the business is family-focused. They treat patients of all ages like kids of their own. From routine checkups to whitenings, crowns, and more, they've got all the tools and the gentle touch to keep your smile shining. Friendly staff, minor tech, zero judgment, even if it's been a while since your last visit. So go ahead and show off those pearly whites. Scott Family Dental has your back and your teeth.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show is brand new, and to celebrate, we want to make sure one listener is a big winner every Wednesday.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
On Wednesday, September 17th, we want to send one of our listeners to the Detroit Tigers game against the Atlanta Braves for their last regular season home series of 2025. At 10:15 a.m. on the Ben Bosscher Show, just get ready to text in the lucky word for your chance to be a winner thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions offensive line, specifically the interior, is going to cause some problems for the Lions this season. I think Brad Holmes made a mistake by cutting Zadarius Smith to save $11 million over the next 2 seasons. I'm not all that convinced Sherrone Moore is the right guy for the Michigan program. And I think the Tigers pitching staff is going to hold them back this postseason. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while, one where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
There's no way around it, everybody. There's no way around it. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I just want to make it as clear and cut as possible. This is a must-win game for the Detroit Lions here in week number 2. There's not a lot of instances where you have a week 2 must-win game. But if the Lions were to lose to the Bears, not only would they be 0-2 in the division and have an 11% chance of making the playoffs, they'd be staring down the barrel of 0-3, knowing that they have to go to Baltimore Monday night in order to get a win and avoid going 0-3. If they do go 0-3, less than 3% chance to make the playoffs. It's only happened 4 times since 1990. So if you want to tell me this is not a must-win game this weekend, I would tell you you're totally wrong and out of your mind. This is about as must-win as it gets for a Week 2 team. I'd argue based on the expectations going into the season, for the Detroit Lions, there's no team in the NFL that needs a win like the Detroit Lions do this weekend against the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be scary to think about the thought of them being 0-2 and then facing that game of Week 3 against Baltimore. Because obviously, how we just talked about it in the previous segment, you feel like Baltimore's atop the rest of the league right now as far as comparing them to the other top teams across the league. So I still feel like good about the Lions, but the fact that they have a must-win game in Week 2 just in general isn't a good thing, right? I mean,
no, it's not a good thing. I mean, if they would have won Week 1, we wouldn't be having a conversation like this at all. But unfortunately, they didn't. But and the way that they lost was alarming, to say the least.
For sure, but also, does it not make you feel even maybe a little bit better about how Green Bay played last night? Like, wow, Green Bay it wasn't just the Lions really playing terrible. It's like Green Bay is actually really that good. They did the same thing against Washington.
No, it makes me feel worse. I don't like living in a world where Green Bay is this good. Because yet last night it was like, I don't know if the Lions are capable of beating this team. And if that's the case and the Lions aren't going to win the division, then, it annoys me. I think I value division titles. I know we talk about Super Bowls so often. I think division titles are very meaningful. Obviously, it's nothing like a Super Bowl, and if you win a Super Bowl from a wild card spot, so be it. But I don't want to just push away the idea of winning divisions in the NFL. I think these are extremely important, especially considering this franchise went 30 years without one. And now that they've gone back-to-back, a chance to build somewhat of a little empire here. And I want to be careful on the word dynasty. Win a division 3 straight times, never win your conference. I wouldn't call that a dynasty, but a little mini empire here in the NFC North. That's really important to me. As a Lions fan, I think that should be really important to the Lions as well. And it feels like the tides have completely shifted in the North in terms of who's on top. Would you believe me if I told you the Lions aren't even second in odds to win the NFC North? It goes Packers, Vikings, then the Lions at 4-1.
That's the truth, or you're just saying that?
No, it's the truth.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to flip like that this early in the season no matter what. If the Lions were to win on Sunday, then obviously it probably gets changed back to them being number 2.
But doesn't it even matter who number 2 or number 3 is right now? The Packers, I mean, they look levels ahead right now. They've got the Browns and the Cowboys both on the road here in the next 2 weeks. And I've been trying to justify myself okay, maybe the Lions offensive line really is just that bad, and the Commanders just aren't as good as you think they were, and it was the short week. And I'm trying to find every reason to not believe that Green Bay's a juggernaut. I think I'm just making myself sound crazy, though, because I think the thing that's the most likely is they just are. They just are, in fact, a juggernaut of a team.
Minus 155 to win the division. I mean, I guess they've played an extra game than everyone else already, which helps. But, yeah, that's really not concerning. I just didn't expect that. That's surprising. But is it really that surprising just based off how good Green Bay has looked? It might be less of a Lions thing than it is more of a Green Bay thing, which I don't think is that unfair to say just because of how good Green Bay has looked.
Look at their schedule the next 6 weeks, too. Browns, Cowboys, home against the Bengals, Cardinals, Steelers, Panthers. There's no other Super Bowl contenders that they have to play over the next 6 weeks. I wouldn't be shocked at all if they walked away from that 5-1, 4-2, whatever, and all of a sudden they're staring at 8-1 on the season or something like that.
That'd be brutal.
It's not a good look if you're a Detroit Lions fan with how great Green Bay played yesterday. Unless you want to make the argument, okay, maybe the Lions aren't as bad as we initially thought. They can get in as a wild card. They're still going to be one of the better teams in the NFC. But my brain immediately goes to, I don't think the Lions are winning the North if the Packers are going to be that dominant and already have a head-to-head win against the Lions. And then my brain starts going to dark places, like what's going to happen on Thanksgiving. This is
Thanksgiving already. Wow,
I
we're
know.
jumping there.
I know. Let's see what you guys think. 989-837-6125. Do you feel better or worse about the Lions after last night? Brandy says Packers might be the best team in the NFL and win the Super Bowl. Ugh. Nathan says it's weird to say that a Week 2 game is a must-win, but after last night, this Sunday is an absolute must-win. The Packers look for real, and the Lions need to blow out the Bears to really calm some nerves. Yeah, I'm totally aligned with you, Nate. Like, if they're not able to come up with a win on Sunday against the Bears, the alarms are going off for the foreseeable future. And they don't get to play until Monday, which means we get an extra day of just, like, sitting here pulling our hair out, worried about the season. Like, it's not all that often that a team with Super Bowl expectations is cooked after the first month of the year. If the Lions don't win on Sunday, all of a sudden, like, there is some real danger. And I don't mean to do the everyone freak out. Like, I'm not trying to do the clickbait. Everyone tune into Ben. He's freaking out. He's saying the Lions season's over. I'm not trying to do that because if they win this weekend, they're 6-point favorites. We can put that to bed. But if they don't, there is real concern about the 2025 season that we have all put so much stock into as fans, as media members, as it all. Like, even the Lions themselves have put a lot of stock into this season, you know? So it's worrisome, to say the least. We'll go one more for now. We made a mistake not pushing our chips into the table to land Micah Parsons to help Hutch and make a Super Bowl run now instead of Green Bay. Look, as great as the Micah move was for Green Bay, there's no way you were going to add Micah Parsons with Aiden Hutchinson and be able to pay them both. That's not the part I'm mad at. I'm mad at Jerry Jones for even making this possible on behalf of the Packers. 989-837-6125. We'll get to some more Mitt messages throughout the course of the show. We've got Jeremy Reisman joining us next. Hopefully he can talk me off this cliff with this Lions interior offensive line that I've been freaking out about for the last 5 days. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun. Ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
What faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career. Any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050 designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Let's go! Get him going! Mondays this football season when you want the NFL. I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! I got your back! We're going to the Super Bowl. It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
Two playoff teams from last season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of. It's hot! Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Sheppard. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Lions Bears coming up this Sunday. I've been telling you guys it's a must-win game all week. We've got Jeremy Reisman from PrideOfDetroit.com now joining us. Jeremy, I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff at you here at the beginning. You can hop in wherever. So I've been extremely worried about the interior of the offensive line. I think a lot of Lions fans were after that, first Sunday against the Packers. They looked, once again, dominant yesterday. And, I start to freak out throughout the course of the week. Like, is this something that's even fixable? Because as much as we can say, look, these guys are naturally going to progress throughout the season, especially Ratledge and Mahogany being as inexperienced as they are, they're going to get better just through reps, just through, playing together. They're going to build a little bit of a chemistry. But if the floor is this low, then I'm worried the ceiling is also pretty low. You probably saw it. PFF ranked them the 21st ranked offensive line after week 1. And I'm like, okay, can they even be an above average group then by the end of the season? Or like a good, can they be a top 10 group again? I feel like the answer is no. And if that's the problem, I don't know if it matters what group of weapons they have, what kind of scheme John Morton's coming up with. If they're consistently losing up front, how are they supposed to run the ball? How are they supposed to have explosive runs? How are they supposed to utilize JMO all the way down the field? Help me, come back to earth and be the person I was all offseason with being someone who thought the Lions were going to the Super Bowl. Because now I'm like freaking out. And I know it's been 1 week, but help me out.
Well, I'll start with your last point, which is what I agree with. Like, if the offensive line can't turn it around, then this team is in trouble. Like, there's no doubt about it. I'm 100% with you there. But I think, even last night, I think should be kind of a sigh of relief for Lions fans in watching the Packers do what they did to Washington, because Washington had 220 yards and 6.9 yards per carry against the Giants last week. Last night, it was 51 rushing yards for 2.7 a carry. Like, that is a good Packers defense, and that was a complete surprise, right? You figured they lose Kenny Clark, that run defense is going to take a huge step back. We all went into that game expecting the Lions to dominate the trenches, at least in the run game. That's not how it happened, and that's not how it happened last night, and I think you have to give at least some of that credit to Green Bay. The other side of it, internally, if you watch the film of that game, there were a ridiculous amount of MAs, missed assignments, mental errors. The Lions have put that all in miscommunication and saying, hey, we figured it out. We know what we did wrong. We're going to figure it out. Everything's going to be okay. I have a little bit more skepticism than that. I think some of the problems run a little bit deeper than that, but at the same time, I do think if you figure out some of those things, if you can cut those MAs in half, which I think you realistically could, because it was just a matter of like 2 guys are running one play, 3 guys are running another play, and it sounds like 1, returning to Ford Field where it won't be as loud, and 2, just taking a little bit off the offense's plate, which is something that John Morton said he was going to do. Like maybe instead of 3 plays at the huddle, we're going to have 2. Or maybe sometimes we're just going to have 1 because we know this play. You guys know this play. It works. We've done it in practice a million times. You guys are going to be okay. Week 1 is always like a barometer. And I do think the Lions are going to throw a lot of adjustments to make that offensive line look a lot better, particularly in the run game. I actually thought the pass protection one wasn't as bad as everyone kind of made it out to be. It's just the Lions were in so many pass situations late in that game where it's hard to fool the defense when everyone knows you have to pass late in the game.
What's been the common theme at the facility this week? I know you've heard all the coordinators speak. You've heard Dan Campbell up there. What's been the common theme? Because I know, Morton had the quote that was like, "We're not in a panic," and I hear that. Yeah. I'm like, well, obviously you're not in a panic. Like, what are you going to tell the media, that you are in a panic?
Right.
What's been the common theme that you've heard over and over again at the facility this week?
I mean, correctable mistakes is probably like the buzzwords of the week. Is everything that we did, very, very correctable. Like I said, a lot of it offensively seemed to be communication based. Defensively, I think there's a lot more to like. What Sheppard kind of seemed to talk about most yesterday was like, hey, for like 90% of that game, we were great. For about 10% of it, we weren't. There were too many big plays that we gave up in the passing game. There were 1 or 2 in the running game that we gave up. If we erase those plays, that looks like an elite performance. But also, he also says, but you can't erase those. Like, we need to fix those. We need to get those things right. And I don't know. I mean, defensively, I think you can trace a lot of the problems to the pass rush in terms of the pass defense. The linebackers were terrible at blitzing. I think I looked, and Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, and Alex Anzalone had 12 pass rushing opportunities between the 3 of them and produced 0 pressures. Which is just not at all good enough. So I think that's going to be a point of emphasis. I think they're going to have to try to figure out a way to free up Aiden Hutchinson in a way that doesn't have him double teamed every time, move him around a little bit, maybe play him a little bit on the interior. This week against the Bears, that a fresh new interior that went through just as many kind of aches and pains in week 1 as the Lions interior offensive line did. So it feels like there's a little bit of an opportunity for a pass rush there, but the Lions are not in panic mode, and I think the reason why is they believe that everything that they messed up in week 1 was on them, was something that is easily fixable in the film room and out there on the practice field.
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable if you just line Aiden Hutchinson across from Jonah Jackson.
Right.
I feel like I just know how that one's going to go if they decide to do it. So you guys put out this article, and you always write it at prideofdetroit.com. This is one of my favorite things that you guys do on the website throughout the course of the season. On paper, you basically just take, how can the Lions take advantage of the Bears? How can the Bears take advantage of the Lions? If anyone out here in the Great Lakes Bay region is interested in a schematic breakdown, just go to the website and go to the on paper thing. You release it every Friday. So through your findings, what's been the biggest advantage that the Lions maybe can utilize here on Sunday against the Bears in what I have been calling a must-win game?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I'm most confident in this Lions team right now is still their run defense. They were pretty darn good against Josh Jacobs and the Packers last week up until late in the game when I think maybe just fatigue set in or whatever it was. Maybe they were demoralized. And this Bears rushing attack was not very good last year. They weren't particularly good against the Vikings last week outside of the quarterback scrambles. Like that is something that's obviously, I put it in a different category than run defense because it's a drop back. It's a passing play. But I think the Lions should be able to shut down the Bears' standard rushing attack pretty easily. That to me is the biggest mismatch of this entire matchup. When you dig a little bit deeper, it does seem like the Lions' offense should see a little bit of success, particularly running the ball. the Bears-Vikings game was weird because the Bears defense looked great through 3 quarters and then just everything fell apart in that 4th quarter. But if you go back to last year too, Chicago's run defense was terrible. It was bad. And that's even with, all the guys that they're expecting to get back defensively last year. And obviously the scheme's different now. You have a brand new coaching staff there, but if there's something I'd be concerned about it as a Bears fan, it's that run defense. And they let that Vikings team run all over them in the 4th quarter after holding them to basically nothing through 3. So I think those are like the run game on both sides of the ball to me is something that should point to the Lions' advantage in this game. And that should be enough to tip the scales based on, if the Lions had a run game in Green Bay last week, I think the game would have looked a lot differently. And so hopefully that's enough to tip the scales this week.
I thought that Monday night game between the Bears and the Vikings was fascinating from a coaching standpoint between Eberflus and Ben Johnson on the Chicago side of things, and then O'Connell and Brian Flores. Because that first half, I'm like, oh, great, Eberflus or not Eberflus. Eberflus. Oh, yeah, Dennis Allen. I don't know why I kept
Dennis
saying
Allen.
Yeah. He joins that first half was so dominant from them. I'm like, oh, great, we have another Brian Flores in the division now. Like, awesome. And then the Vikings flipped it on him that quickly. What's an area, basically the opposite of what I just asked, where you look at it, it's like, okay, maybe this is actually an advantage towards the Bears?
Well, I mean, what's also fascinating about this matchup is like you're facing off against the mirror images of each other, right? Because not only is Ben Johnson running a very similar to offense to what the Lions are running, obviously, but defensively, Dennis Allen comes from the Saints. Aaron Glenn came from the Saints. Like it's the same concepts of heavy man coverage and showing a lot of blitzes. And so I think that Bears back 7 is very talented. Their corners are good. They're probably going to get Jalen Johnson back. Their safeties are pretty good. Their linebackers are I probably think best in the division. And that's after seeing a Packers linebacking core that I thought was excellent last week. And so, it might be kind of a similar situation where there's not a lot of windows to throw in. You might have to just kind of take what the defense gives you a little bit. I know Jared Goff has kind of struggled in the past, really with linebackers in zone. I don't know how much you're going to see that now with Dennis Allen's defense, but, I think it's probably the best matchup of the game where it's like a strength for strength. The Lions receivers versus that Bears secondary and linebacking crew, I think, is something that might tip in the Bears' advantage and could, have a pretty profound impact on this game.
Something that I was a little bit surprised about in week 1 was the amount of snaps that Kalif Raymond got, basically as the 3rd wide receiver on the field, playing as much as everyone else. And we saw, obviously, the big-time play at the end of the game with Isaac Tesla. Did that shock you at all? And do you think in week 2 we're going to see a little bit more of a balance between Tesla and Raymond as the wide receiver 3, per se?
I think we're going to see a big shift. Basically, the line that the Lions gave the media after that was, hey, Tesla was sick during the early part of the season, or early part of the week when we were game planning against the Bears. He really only got time for 3rd down and red zone on the practice field, so that's what we played him in. We played him in 3rd down and red zone. Based on everything I've heard from the coaches, from the players, Tesla has a pretty firm grasp on the offense. He's been healthy this entire week, and they want to get him more opportunities. So I don't know if it's going to be like a 50-50 split between him and Raymond. It might tip in Tesla's favor. I think they are very eager to get him out there, and the only reason he didn't play last week as much was because of the illness.
So Taylor Decker, he's playing, right? It seems like he's playing based on these quotes, but 2 straight days of no practice. If he shows up as a no practice again today, I'm going to start to panic a little bit about his status.
Yeah, no, it was a really weird thing with John Morton yesterday, because he said, listen, I don't answer injury questions. That's not what I do. Ask Dan Campbell that. And he was talking about Giovanni Manu if he had to play. And then at the very end of his Giovanni Manu answer, he said, but we expect Taylor Decker to play. And everyone's like, wait, what'd you just say? I didn't expect you to say that. But I will say this, there are not a lot of cases last year in which a guy misses the first 2 days of practice and still plays. But Taylor Decker, I think, would fit in kind of that exception, because you're also, he's a 31-year-old guy or 30-year-old guy. He had a rest day last week. I think if there's a guy that you can take it easy with a guy that you're like, okay, he doesn't need to practice much at all. He can just have, our short Friday practices and he'll be ready to go. Taylor Decker is that guy. So I think today's practice is paramount. Like if he's not practicing today, I don't think he's playing. If he is practicing today, even in a limited way, I would say he's probably playing, but that's just a guess based on, again, the weird quote from John Morton, kind of the history of how they used their week of practices.
Is Skipper healthy? Because he doesn't really have to show up on the injury report since he's on the practice squad. But is he healthy, or is Giovanni Manu slated to be the offensive tackle if he can't?
It would be Manu because
Ben's worst nightmare.
Yeah, Skipper is according to Justin Rogers dealing with tendonitis. He hasn't practiced once since the season began. So. I mean, maybe he shows up today and gives you a little bit of hope, but yeah, no, it would have to be Gio and probably at left tackle if Decker can't go. So that is huge news, depending on what we hear today.
Thank God they're not playing Micah Parsons this week. Thank God.
Right.
Last question I have for you. So Campbell, I don't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday, but during his press conference, he said something along the lines of like, we're not going to change who we are. Like, we just have to get better at running the football, like back to the basics. We got to be able to do that to operate our offense. And, I start thinking about it like, okay, how many more weeks have to go by before, like, of bad interior offensive line play for you to at some point be like, all right, our identity is no longer running the football down your throat. Like, it's going to have to be leaning into the weapons. Because this is something we talked about in the offseason, Kyle and I, like, hey, these weapons are kind of your strength now that Frank Ragnow's not here. At what point, like how many weeks in a row would they have to struggle from that interior of the offensive line? Do you think there would be a shift in this is how we're operating the offense? Now we want to be a quick passing, like Jared Goff is going to be throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game, and we're going to try to get the ball out as fast as possible rather than it being run the ball, set up the play action. Like, when do you think they would see that shift? And this is all like hypotheticals. Maybe they can run the football fine. But I don't know. Do you think that's possible at some point this season? We see a shift in the way that the offense is kind of constructed in the priorities?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think, Dan Campbell always talks about it all the time, how their offense tries to be week to week, right? If they see a mismatch in the passing game and maybe a tough sledding running the ball, they're not afraid to throw it 40, 50 times. If it's the other way around, then it'll be the other way around. Schematically, I don't think there's much that they can like drastically change mid-season, but if there is kind of this overall philosophy of like, okay, let's say this is a neutral week, we're facing an average opponent, we need to lean more on our passing game than our running game now just because who that is. I'd have to imagine it'd happen around like week 5, week 6, because Dan Campbell always talks about it. It's like you don't really know who you are as a team, what your strengths and weaknesses are until about that time. Like you have enough data at that point to realize, okay, it wasn't just that we went up against the Packers' amazing defense. We actually have issues running the ball, or, we were able to stop the Packers run defense, but like we got to these other teams and they were a much tougher challenge. And so I think like a month and a half's worth of data is where this team feels comfortable in figuring out what their overall identity is. So if any of their problems continue, that's when I would expect like a philosophical change, maybe not a full schematic change, but like a philosophical change.
Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com. You guys can read all the good stuff there. You got anything else to plug right now? The podcast, anything?
Nah, you got it all. We're good.
All right. Appreciate you joining on here on the show. Hopefully we can talk to you again next week.
Sounds good, Ben.
There he goes. Again, one more time. Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll get to some more Mitt messages when we come back here on The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Ironstack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronstackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Ironstack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? Call on someone who's invested in your success. I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor. At Edward Jones, we believe in building a complete picture of your financial life, including your unique goals and passions, so we can help you work towards achieving what's most important to you.
Contact Kevin Spencer today at 832-8428, 832-8428. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them. On Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Kyle, I told you I was sick to my stomach that the Packers are good. I'm sick to my stomach that Giovanni Manu might actually be playing football for the Lions this weekend.
No.
If they're starting, like if he's starting at left tackle, if Decker's not practicing today, they're not winning. Like, I think it's that big of a detriment and that big of a black hole.
They're not winning.
That it is that big of a black hole.
You think the line would get moved that tremendously just because of Taylor Decker being replaced with Giovanni Manu?
No, because Vegas doesn't know how bad Giovanni Manu is.
But I'm saying, like, that would be enough for you to feel like they are not even like the favorites to win the game.
Do you remember when Aiden Hutchinson was just like destroying backup offensive tackles?
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
They don't have Aiden Hutchinson.
They can have an average player, and he's all the preseason.
Aiden Hutchinson.
All the preseason guys looked like Aiden Hutchinson against Giovanni Monti. He was the worst offensive lineman on the Lions O line during preseason per PFF. Like gave up the most pressures, all that stuff. And for him to like be in a real NFL game against starters, that's pretty scary. That Hutch rule that they came up with in camp, that was because he tormented Giovanni Manu every single play. Tormented him.
Yeah, that's.
I pray to God when the practice report comes out, Taylor Decker's at least a limited participant.
I mean, like Jeremy said, it was essentially worded yesterday that Decker's going to play, but he hasn't practiced, and Jeremy being not confident in it really makes me nervous. I wish he would have just lied to you. Just said, Manu, no, he wouldn't play, right?
But he's right. When guys don't practice the first 2 days, the avenue to like getting on the field is it's steep.
Yeah, the Wednesdays, you never really are that concerned about missing a Wednesday, just especially like we saw it with Frank Ragnow's entire last 5 years of his career, just never practiced on Wednesdays.
Right, and Decker might be entering that group too.
Which is fair. But once you miss Thursday, then it's like, okay, that's probably should have practiced if you're healthy.
It's like Wednesday, no big deal. Thursday. Okay, we're 1 day away from you're not playing.
Maybe you for sure should practice Friday. Yeah.
If he's in no practice today, I assume he's not playing.
Basically, anyone who doesn't practice on Fridays, is missing the game. You know, it's usually how it goes. So we're gonna keep a close eye on that the rest of the show today for sure.
Well, the practice report won't come out until afterwards. But I'll tell you what.
Get some little reports before though. You never know.
I will be constantly refreshing my my Twitter at about 2 p.m. when the Lions tweet the.
Well, and it'll be on there too. It's got everything.
Oh, the XD Everything app? Yeah, it will. 989-837-6125. Martin says, here's my theory. Green Bay stealing signs. That's got to be the reason that they are good, right? I'm not opposed to that idea. It's got to be something. Because it felt like they had 12 players on the field yesterday. That's the best way I can describe it. No matter where Jaden Daniels was trying to throw the pigskin, there was a guy glued to a wide receiver, or like Zach Ertz was taken out of the game. There was 3 guys right where whoever the running back was on any given play, wherever he wanted to go, there was nowhere to go. And even when Jaden Daniels would try to take off, there was a guy waiting for him. Like every single play. It was really impressive, and it was a really well coached defense yesterday from Mr. Jeff.
Right, and that's the part that obviously Washington's like rushing attack hasn't been one of the top of the league in the last couple of years, but just in general, their offense is an offense that supplies a good run game just because of how powerful they are in the pass game and how Jaden Daniels can move mobily. And that was just non-existent against a run defense that even prior to Micah Parsons were like, okay, it's like a solid run defense, and then they lose Kenny Clark, which obviously you're going to do that trade 20 times out of 20. But
because Micah looked like a man possessed yesterday.
Exactly. But the fact that this run defense looks better than it did last year without, one of the better run stoppers in the league, and Micah Parsons, who is obviously much stronger against the pass attack than he is the run, just really, a great job from the coaching staff in Green Bay or just everyone else stepping up as well. Like, I thought Devontae Wyatt was everywhere last night. He was one of the guys that obviously Parsons pops off the screen, but Wyatt was everywhere on the interior for Green Bay as well. Another one of those former first-round picks that have hit for Green Bay. So, yeah, it's very scary going forward, that's for sure.
You think the Aiden Hutchinson tickets for Defensive Player of the Year are just done?
No.
Because it kind of feels like this is Micah's award to lose.
Micah being the favorite right now, does that seem kind of crazy?
No.
He's played like half the snaps.
And he was the best player on the field in week 1, and last night, every single snap he played, he was... I don't know. When he walked out there, that's the only thing I could watch when the Packers were on defense. And I don't think he lost a single rep. Even when he was being double-teamed, he'd just take the running back trying to chip and just throw him. Throw him backwards. As someone else is, professional tackle is trying to hold him back. No one could do it. Bull rush, spin moves, swim moves, dips,
against 2 good offensive lines in the first 2 weeks, too. Yeah.
All of it. He could not be stopped.
You're right. It does kind of feel like it is his year, just because he doesn't have one yet.
It's crazy he doesn't have one when he's pretty clearly to me the best defensive player in the NFL at this
league
point.
That has Myles Garrett, though, and T.J. Watt, who just won them time and time again. makes, and then obviously last year all the edge rushers get injured and it goes to a cornerback. But yeah, he'll probably get it.
He feels like, to me, the best defensive. He's like a revolutionary defensive player because of all the different things you can do with him. I would love to see the Lions mimic what the Packers were doing with him and what the Cowboys did so well too. Just let him stand up right over the center against the Bears, because they also have 3 new guys on the interior of their offensive line, Jonah Jackson being one of them, who was a disaster last time he played for the Lions and got benched last year by the Rams. So I would love for them to just line Aiden Hutchinson up right over the center and have him do some work there. See if he can disrupt the pocket that way. 989-837-6125. Let's switch gears. Michigan, Central Michigan. When we come back, it's the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Do we have any spray paint? Why? I need lots of paint. I'm going to paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Brexy Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
SNF sees a QB rematch from the 2023 College Football National Championship. Former Michigan Wolverine J.J. McCarthy and the 1-0 Minnesota Vikings host Michael Penix Jr. and the 0-1 Atlanta Falcons. Coverage at 7:30 presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Happy Friday, everyone in the Great Lakes Bay region. Everyone live on YouTube as well. Not forgetting about you. Facebook, too. Sometimes I do forget about you, but not right now. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. We've got 3 football games this weekend that I know everyone cares about. We got the Lions on Sunday. We spent the whole first hour talking about that. If you want some more Lions stuff, be patient. We'll get back to it. Don't worry. We'll get back to the Lions. But I do want to switch gears and go to this Michigan thing. Unless you have anything to say about Michigan State and Youngstown State. I do not.
I don't know, Youngstown's. No, I'm just kidding. I have nothing.
Did we ever find out a spread on this? Because it just won't come out.
I'm guessing that maybe some of these really smaller schools, they just don't put them out for.
But Youngstown State's not that small of a school.
I mean, they're smaller than a MAC school.
Really?
Let's see if we have a line for this game. Yeah, I'll let you continue to talk, and I'll figure it out.
Because I don't really have much on the Michigan State game. They should take care of business. I don't even see a spread. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's non-existent.
Okay, then MSU beatdown on the way. All right, when it comes to the Michigan game, though, you're going to be there covering the game, doing pregame, halftime, postgame for the CMU Chippewas.
Of course.
Fire up. Both of us alums from there. So I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to be very transparent. You know, I try to be an unbiased person in front of this microphone. I think there's a responsibility to be unbiased. And, you know, it's fun with the Lions. You know, we can be a little biased towards there. There are teams. There are teams we care about. But with Michigan State, you know, I try to split it right down the middle. I graduated from CMU. I've never wanted Michigan to lose a game more than I do this weekend. It's not going to happen.
Oh, I love it, Ben.
It's not going to happen. They're 27-point favorites. But you probably you know the Central team better than I do right now, obviously, covering every game so far.
Coach a show last night.
How'd that go?
Good. I just
didn't happen on our airwaves, but
right,
you know,
right. Well, and it happened
anyway.
live, but yeah, it was good. Coach Drinkle is awesome. He's a very open head coach. He is very he likes to talk about what is going on with the team. Doesn't like to hide anything, which I think is it's important.
So, did you ask him if there's any factor of like, hey, they don't have their head coach? Do you smell blood in the water? A little bit.
Not necessarily, but we just talked about the kind of the current situation of that. Like, is this the best time to catch Michigan, essentially? So, I mean, it was not precisely asked the way that you worded it, but it was the same type of question. You know, like this is probably the best time of the year to play Michigan, correct? And that's kind of how that is how I feel personally. And he kind of felt the same way. And I do think that Michigan's in a weird spot because they're coming off of the loss at Oklahoma. The offense is. We know what it potentially could be.
They're
right?
Identity searching. They're searching for their identity.
And I think that if you were playing Michigan in Week 8, this spread is a 40-point spread, right? But playing them now, it's a little bit weird because you also have the interim coach coming in. And as much as some people seem to – and I've seen a lot – this is kind of a popular opinion that people think Biff Poggi's kind of just going to let it loose and let Michigan and Bryce Underwood go crazy. And I just think the exact opposite way as – why would the interim head coach come in and just drastically change the way things have gone? Wouldn't he double down on their constant run game attack and identity?
You think he's going to do what Moore did against Penn State when Jim Harbaugh wasn't allowed to coach that game? We're just going to run the ball a zillion times.
Because as we know, Sherrone Moore can still practice with them this week up until Saturday. Then he's done. So it's not like this. Like it's still going to be a Sherrone Moore game plan this week against CMU. I would assume at least since he can practice with them this week. So I think that there's just a world where this Michigan offense, they're going to continue to run the ball well. It's going to slow the game down a little bit. Central Michigan wants to do the same thing. They want to turn a 60-minute game into a 30-minute game. And I think it's a chance that CMU can cover. I'm not going to say that they're going to win, obviously, but I don't know. We'll see. I've also never wanted a Michigan team to lose as bad as this week, you know?
The irony in all the different layers of this game with the team that, you know, helped you out in the entire scandal, but with an entirely new staff. Like no one is still here from the previous coaching staff. So there's no ties between them as much as the national media will probably, and you hop on X this weekend, you hop on Twitter, and I'm sure there's going to be 1,000
fans are
jokes.
going to be going pretty crazy. Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of stupid jokes, but this is an entire new staff at CMU. I just think the irony of like, hey, I know the guys that are here before us, they might have helped you out in a way. We're going to try to take your soul. And I don't think they're going to be able to. But it is interesting because, like you said, if there's a time to get Michigan, it's when they don't have their head coach. It's when they're kind of searching for their identity still. There's nothing kind of about it. They are still searching for their identity on offense. Do they want to be a power-heavy team, a power-run team? Do they want to let Bryce Underwood cook as a freshman, or do they want to protect him and set themselves up for the future? I don't know if they even know the answer to that right now. I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle. When you're getting this 5-star running back next season, you're getting your 5-star offensive tackle back who got injured right before the season started. Like, there's going to be improvements. You're going to keep getting better recruiting classes. You're going to keep getting better transfer classes as well. Like, people see what Bryce Underwood's capable of. They're going to want to come play for him. So I think if you're a Michigan fan, you should be like, yeah, let's build up Bryce's confidence for next season and the year after. But then again, you don't want to waste an opportunity this year to punch your ticket into the playoffs with him and get that experience as early as possible. If they want to do that, they got to figure out what their identity is. And if they're going to do that, figuring out their identity means against teams like Central Michigan, you're not just there to play around and bully them up front, run the football. I don't think that does anything for Michigan's football team if they come in and do the Penn State approach from 2 years ago and run the ball a gajillion times, and Bryce Underwood has like 15 passing attempts, similar to the way that, a J.J. McCarthy team would have. And J.J. was super cool with that, never was going to complain, just wanted to win football games. I don't think Bryce Underwood would sit here and be like, I need to throw the ball. I don't think he's like that at all. But there is an element of like, we got to make sure that this kid, when the time comes to throw the ball when the game's on the line, he's comfortable doing it. I don't think anyone benefits on Michigan if they just decide to run the ball all over CMU.
No, I mean, this is the perfect time for them to test things out offensively. You're playing a MAC school. Like, this is your easiest opponent on the schedule,
Do what Sean Payton and the Broncos did to the Titans. Just let Bo Nix throw the ball 40 times. Okay, let Bryce Underwood throw the ball 40 times.
Yeah, and that's what I'm interested to think if Sherrone Moore was here coaching this game, which maybe it doesn't matter because he's practicing with them all week anyways, but if Sherrone Moore was coaching this game, how much different would it actually be from what we're going to see? That's kind of the part that I continue to think about for this game. Nonetheless, like it should be a good opportunity for, one, Michigan to really try some stuff out and see who you are ahead of Big Ten play, because I think we not flipped our opinion on Michigan, but we've kind of gone back and forth
our expectations
from week 1 to week 2. And so with this game against CMU, this is the chance for you to really try to figure some stuff out heading into a tough game that's going to be at Nebraska for sure. And then for CMU, this is just a good opportunity for them to kind of let people know who they are and let people get introduced to Matt Drinkle and this new kind of regime that he's running here, a young coaching staff. So that's why I'm excited for this game for both teams. There's a good opportunity for both sides to kind of show what they are in different grand schemes of things.
I'm a little worried what the CMU Chippewas are going to be looking like in this game, because this is a team that comes.
Of course, you are.
Well, specifically with this matchup against, it'd be one thing if they were going up against I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if Central Michigan's going to win, and I think they can in the MAC. I'm not saying against Michigan. I think if Central Michigan's going to show some dominance here this season under Matt Drinkle, in the MAC, it's going to be, we're running smash mouth football, old school. We've got the 2 tight ends, 2 fullbacks, and a running back in, which is fun.
Which they've done.
That is not how, you can't beat Michigan that way.
Right.
It's near impossible.
And they learned that the hard way against Pitt last week as well, because they just want to, and I understand the logic of wanting to slow the game down. Like, that's how you do it, right? You
limit Michigan's possessions.
Less possessions for Pitt, and I think that the Pittsburgh game is a little bit different. Not saying they're better than Michigan. I just think matchup-wise, Pitt loves to throw the ball all over the place. They had a returning quarterback, a couple of all-conference receivers as well. It wasn't the best matchup for CMU to try to do that, whereas Michigan, they are probably also going to try to run the ball and not burn clock, but they just naturally are going to because of it. Michigan hasn't had many huge plays is basically where I'm going, right? Whereas when they played Pitt, it was a team that had explosive plays all over the place. So we'll see how it goes. I would love to see Bryce Underwood let loose. That's what I'm excited for this game. Obviously, it's going to be covering CMU and everything, but to see Bryce Underwood in person, I want to see him do what we all think he's capable of doing. And why is this not the perfect matchup to do it?
I really considered going down. I wanted to get my eyes on.
It's currently Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah, right? I know. I think I've decided I'm just not going to do that, though. Just want to sit on my couch all day. I'm due for a do-nothing day,
Sunday can't be a do-nothing day?
Okay, maybe I'm due for 2
do-nothing days?
Yeah. No, I'll get.
No, Sunday already counts as a do-nothing day. It's already a written one. It's written in.
Yeah, but that's not even a do-nothing day because I'm just so
day.
locked in to the games, taking notes, understanding, just being a student of the game.
Understanding, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Just being a student of the game.
Doing a bunch of understanding all day Sunday. Sorry, guys. I can't make it out to the function.
Just trying to learn, Just trying to learn as much as possible on Sundays, We're locked in. It's not an easy task to be locked in for 12 hours. Go ahead.
Sorry. How much do you think Sherrone Moore is doing Nebraska prep this week? Since he's not allowed to practice in between the CMU and Nebraska game, he can't come back until after the game at Nebraska. Do you think that they've done a couple days on CMU and then the rest of the week they're just or maybe the early in the week they did the Nebraska stuff?
No, maybe behind the scenes. I don't think that players ever get taught
Well, yeah,
about Nebraska,
I'm
like
talking,
the week ahead.
I am talking like behind the scenes, like more with Biff Poggi, basically like how he wants things to go, you know?
I always think it's a little less.
I don't know how that stuff works, you know? Like, that's a genuine question.
Maybe we can ask.
We're not coaches, you know, so.
Maybe we can ask Ryan Brady here coming up.
Hey!
We should imitate the
Good
phone call
segue.
between Sherrone Moore and Biff Poggi next week when he's technically not allowed to practice or communicate, but there's no way they're not going to be communicating with their coaches. They'll be like, hey, Biff, what are we doing against Nebraska this week? Here's what I think. Make sure Dylan Raiola is under pressure, constant pressure.
Yeah, no, it's a good bit.
It's not really. Thought I could think of something funny. I couldn't. Oh, well. 989-837-6125. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Coming up at 10:30. Ryan Brady's going to join us, head coach of the SVSU Cardinals, to talk about the Axe Bowl this weekend here in the Great Lakes Bay region, tradition that I know all of you guys care about. Before we get to that, let's do a little bit more on this Lions game. Is it a must-win? We'll get to some more Mitt messages from you guys. 989-837-6125. Feel free to load up that YouTube chat as well. We'll get to that shortly. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun, ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Sheppard. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Doggy.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions offensive line, specifically the interior, is going to cause some problems for the Lions this season. I think Brad Holmes made a mistake by cutting Zadarius Smith to save $11 million over the next 2 seasons. I'm not all that convinced Sherrone Moore is the right guy for the Michigan program. And I think the Tigers pitching staff is going to hold them back this postseason. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
A couple more Mitt messages to get to regarding this Lions game. I think it's a must-win. I think it always has been a must-win. Not always. Ever since they lost on Sunday, I think it's been a must-win. Jason from Saginaw says, I wonder how healthy the Packers can stay playing this aggressively come December when it gets cold. I don't think the cold weather has anything to do with the Packers' defense or offense, for that matter. Josh Jacobs only going to get better in the cold. That guy is one of the most aggressive, hard-running guys in the league.
Yeah, I mean, the cold in Green Bay, they kind of coincide, right? I mean, it's just like what they do.
They're never going to build a team that's not capable of playing in the cold. Jacobs is like the ideal
Jordan
person.
Love, though, California kid. I don't know.
I'm not all that convinced. Like, Jordan Love might be the weakest part of that team. And, like, if he is.
Oh, what?
No.
I'm not even a Love guy.
Hear me out.
The weakest part of the team?
Yeah, but if Jordan Love is the weakest part of your team, I think that's, like, a really good
team,
sign.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the strength of this team, is he? No. I think the weapons, like, make him pretty good. There's a lot of B-plus guys. Yeah.
They don't have great weapons by any means.
But they have a lot of good ones. That's kind of where I landed yesterday.
Do
like,
they?
They have a lot of good weapons.
I think that's probably the weakest part of their team.
It hasn't seemed to stop them on offense so far.
Well, yeah, but the guy who's throwing it to him sure is doing a good job, you know? I'm not even a Love guy. I'm just like...
just chucks the ball down the field so much. It truly reminds me of Derek Carr back in Vegas. And he was just... I guess that was where were they before Vegas?
Oakland?
Yeah, Oakland. God, poor Oakland. They're just losing everything.
God,
They're just losing everything. It reminds me when they were there and he would just chuck the ball down. Like, whenever he was in doubt, he'd, oh, well, here it goes. Woof, and try to draw pass interference.
Derek Carr was way better. I'll never be here for Derek Carr slander.
Oh, wow. That's not the route I thought you were going to take there.
Derek Carr was an athletic specimen, dude.
No, Derek Carr was an idiot with his athleticism.
Oh.
That's why his career ended early.
Come
Remember?
on, man.
He tried to truck a guy and got decimated because he wouldn't slide. Remember? That's how he missed the last half of last season, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. He wasn't good with the Saints. I'm not backing that version of Derek Carr. Oakland Derek Carr, though, most underrated QB in the league.
Oh, get out of here.
For sure. So underrated.
It's the same as Jordan Love.
Dude was never once set up for success in Oakland. Had a bunch of psychopaths as his head coaches his whole career.
That's kind of what Mark Davis does out there.
Right.
Hire psychopaths.
Imagine it.
Derek Carr had a little psychopath.
Imagine Derek Carr got drafted by the Packers, you know?
Probably
He'd be a
Hall
lot
of
better
Famer.
than Jordan Love, that's for sure. I mean, he never would have because of Aaron Rodgers. This is a dumb conversation. I'm moving on.
All right, next text. Happy Friday, guys. Last night was brutal. I don't believe the Lions aren't winning the North. The Commanders are used to playing Parsons twice a year prior to the trade, and he did that. The Lions are cooked. Oh, boy. Vibes are down.
Man, Lions are cooked Tex on September 12th. That's just...
Before week 2 even starts.
That is so brutal. Look, I will say, I kind of agree, and I brought it up in the open. Like, I kind of agree with what Jeremy said when he came on. I thought last night actually made me feel better from a Lions perspective. In general, seeing Green Bay play that good, I was like, oh, that sucks.
I feel way worse about the Lions winning the North. And, like, to me, it always starts with what are the goals for the season. The first one is win the North. I don't think it's ever Super Bowl or bust here in Detroit. The first goal is always win the North.
I agree, but I guess I'm not looking at it super long-term at the moment. I'm looking at it like, can we not start 1-3? You know, that's kind of how and so when I see Green Bay dominate Washington, just like they did Detroit, I'm like, okay, maybe Green Bay's just really good. And we kind of just have to worry about ourselves right now because I was worried that the Lions might not be that good. And so I think, of course it worries you that Green Bay is way better than Detroit. Obviously that does, and your point makes sense. But I was just thinking about it in more of a short-term sense rather than long-term winning the division and everything.
Genuinely makes me sick to my stomach. Like, wanted to not cry, but I just went to bed like defeated. Like, oh my God, Green Bay's going to win the freaking North. That's the case. And it feels like, unfortunately, that might be the world we're living in, that Green Bay is, in fact, that good. Especially, like, maybe there's a little bit of pride here, too, because what did I say all offseason? I just thought this team was so overrated. That might be my biggest L of the offseason. If they can hold out and, continue to be one of the 4 best teams in the NFL, it might be my worst take of the offseason going into the season.
Is it? I guess maybe it is.
I was very out on the Packers.
Yeah.
I said they were going to finish third or fourth.
The Packers side of things,
I thought they were going to go under 500, remember?
I thought they were going to finish third, too. I mean, they still could. Like, it is still really early, It's a long NFL. I know it's only 17 games. It's a long season. A lot of stuff can happen.
But they're clearly one of the 4 best teams in the league right now. It's Ravens, it's Eagles, it's Bills, and it's Packers in that top-tier Super Bowl contending tier. And then
I think
it's
there's
everybody
a case
else.
then to be, like, we'll see how Philly looks against Kansas City. I would not be shocked by any means, though. On Monday morning, we're talking about Green Bay is the best team in the NFC. It would not shock me by any means.
I mean, if Philly loses, that's what's going to happen, right?
And I kind of think Philly's going to lose. So
989-837-6125. Your dream lawn? Yeah, Sherrone sod can roll that out. Literally, locally grown, top-quality sod that turns patchy yards into backyard showstoppers. And they've been doing it for over 50 years. They are experts. Whether you're fixing a rough spot or redoing your whole yard, Sherrone delivers lush, green perfection, fast, friendly, and farm fresh because your grass should be greener right now. Don't settle for a bland yard. Increase the value of your home and get the lawn that your neighbors will envy with Sherrone sod. All right, Axe Bowl this weekend here in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's Northwood. It's Saginaw Valley State. We've got head coach of the Cardinals joining us next. It's Ryan Brady here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
SNF sees a QB rematch from the 2023 College Football National Championship. Former Michigan Wolverine J.J. McCarthy and the 1-0 Minnesota Vikings host Michael Penix Jr. and the 0-1 Atlanta Falcons. Coverage at 7:30 presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition. The Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools. A $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad, 989-529-8167.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions offensive line, specifically the interior, is going to cause some problems for the Lions this season. I think Brad Holmes made a mistake by cutting Zadarius Smith to save $11 million over the next 2 seasons. I'm not all that convinced Sherrone Moore is the right guy for the Michigan program. And I think the Tigers pitching staff is going to hold them back this postseason. Oh, and I think if you agree or disagree with anything I just said, you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Big weekend coming up in the Great Lakes Bay region, the Axe Bowl. Saginaw Valley State versus Northwood, one of the fiercest rivalries in Division II. Joining us now to preview the matchup is head coach of the Cardinals, Ryan Brady. Coach, how's it going?
Going good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic, man. It's a beautiful weekend for football. Weather should be perfect. Here in your 6th season with SVSU, what has the Axe Bowl meant to you and your players and the SVSU community? Because I'm at the gym yesterday at the community center. I see a bunch of Northwood kids wearing Axe Bowl shirts. I want to know what it's like down there in Saginaw as well, because I can only imagine this is a week that everyone gets pretty excited for this fall.
Yeah, the Axe Bowl is a huge tradition. This rivalry's gone on, forever, and that's what makes it special. So it goes way back. A lot of alums have played in the Axe Bowl, and this is what really matters to them. I just got off the phone with Micah Kressinger. He just FaceTimed me from the field. He's getting ready to go to Atlanta for his UFL tryout. And he's like, Coach Axbowl, let's go. And so that's just what it means to these guys. It's this crosstown rival. It's a huge opportunity, and it's a big game. It'll be a great environment. Going to be under the lights this year. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Maybe you can give us some insight on this, because we were debating this earlier. When you have a huge matchup like this in football, do you start previewing this or preparing for it a couple weeks in advance, like maybe looking ahead in the schedule, circling this game specifically, like, oh, we got to make sure we beat Northwood? Like, when does the preparation for this game begin, and is it like sooner than a normal game on the schedule?
Well, I think like all rivalries, I think you think about it, year round. I think it's always circled on your calendar, and this one's got a couple circles around it. And so, there's always those games when you look at the schedule, you're like, oh, this one, this one's been circled about 3 or 4 times. And so, and I think that's just generally like, anywhere you go, that's just how it is. And so, but this is two good teams, 2 storied programs, both programs, rich in football tradition, and that's what makes it so special.
You have a personal memory so far in the 5 previous years with this Axe Bowl that sticks out as, something that comes to mind?
Yeah, they've all been special, and they've all been cool. But I think in 2021, Northwood came here, and I think we faked a punt and scored a touchdown, and the players love that. They always talk about that play to me, and that's now we call that play Motown. And so it's just, that's just kind of carried on. But every Axe Bowl that I've been involved with, it's been a battle. It's been a fight. Both teams play extremely hard. Always very competitive.
Let's talk about the season so far for you guys. You've started out 1-1, lost to Northeastern, and then a win versus Gannon. What have you learned about the team in those 2 games that you didn't necessarily know before the season started?
Yeah, we didn't get off to the right start. Got a lot of things cleaned up last week, so we were pleased with that. A lot of new faces on defense, and so we think we've got everything settled and sorted out there. And I've really liked the response from the team. Obviously, come out and not get it done in week 1 was not the way we planned it. But I thought the kids totally responded the right way and came back, and we played well last week. We played at a high level, really executed, in all 3 phases. And so, and then we've had a growth mindset this week where we've really been focused on trying to get better, and really focused on ourselves. So even though we're excited about the Axe Bowl and getting to play Northwood, I really told the guys, I said, man, your focus has really got to be on, what you need to do, and how we need you to do it. And I thought we've really had a good approach this week. And so I've been hearing a lot of really good things from our assistant coaches about the kids and their preparation.
Ryan Brady, head coach of the SVSU Cardinals, joining us right now. I moved here a couple of years ago, and I didn't realize how, I guess maybe this is me being a little bit naive being from the west side of the state, but I moved here and I'm like, oh, high school football, it really matters here. A lot of great teams covering it the last couple of years here at the station between Dow, Midland, Heritage, Freeland, like all the teams. I don't mean to leave anyone out, but I'd imagine this weekend is pretty big for recruiting, right? Like this weekend with the Axe Bowl, Northwood versus SVSU. Do you think this sways any of the recruits at all? Like, take me through what it's like from a recruiting standpoint. And I know you're so locked into the actual game itself, but is that something that you worry about a little, or not worry? That's not the right word, but like think about a little bit more on a week like this too.
Yeah, no, this is a huge recruiting weekend for us. And we've got like 6 commits coming up and 6 other kids that we think are close to being Cardinals. And so we're excited about the opportunity because, I think the Great Lakes Bay region is going to show out at 6 p.m. game under the lights, 80 degrees. So I'm anticipating a great environment, huge crowd. I hope, the town of Midland ends up over here, and same thing with, Saginaw, and, that we have 10,000 people there under the lights. And, that's what you want the recruits to see, is you see that kind of environment. And then you see, emotions high and teams playing, really physical and having that kind of feel to the football game. I mean, that's what I think gets recruits excited, and so we've been really working hard to try to get as many top recruits as we can up here on campus, and we've got a lot of them coming, so we're really excited. It's going to be a great time, and hopefully we're going to go out there and play well.
What role do the fans and the community have in a weekend like this? Whenever I would imagine it's one of the more jam-packed games in terms of the capacity of the stadium throughout the entire season. So what kind of role do the fans and the community play, even the days leading up to the game, like on a day like today?
Yeah, no, like it's huge, and the support from the community has been fantastic. And so, last week we had a great crowd where the band had to go sit on the visitor section. So I love that. I'm like, all right, that was for Gannon. I'm like, man, what's it going to be for Northwood here? And so you always try to plan out your games, so you're not like in the middle of a Michigan game or a Michigan State game where, a lot of people could be tailgating. So, we like the way that this one sets up for us, that, hopefully we can have a huge showing here tomorrow night.
I'd love to, for you to spill the beans on what your game plan is. I'm not going to ask you directly that, but take me through a little bit of schematically what some challenges might be in this one, and how you guys think you guys as a team are going to be able to maybe take advantage of this Northwood team. Again, like, I'm not trying to say, give me your entire game plan by any means, but just take me through, a broad standpoint of what you guys are trying to achieve on Saturday night.
Sure. So early in the season like this, there's a lot of unknowns. So we played twice, they played once, and they played a triple option team that's very unique. And so, from an offensive standpoint, studying their defense, that game doesn't really help us a whole lot because, there's a very specific style to stopping Northern Michigan split back veer. And so defensively, I don't know what we're going to get. We're probably going to get a little bit of everything. And so we're going to have to adapt and overcome and sort it out, as we go. And so that will be all we have really is, a few games from last year and then our game from last year. And so, but that you have to take with a grain of salt because those teams are totally different. We're totally different. They're totally different. There's a bunch of guys that have graduated on both teams. So, it's going to be a process of evaluating. And what's cool in 2025 is a lot of the adjustments and the adaptations that you make are during the game because now everybody's got iPads. So you're literally watching film as the game goes on. Like after every series, you're breaking it down. You're talking about, all right, they did this, they did that. All right, we got to do this. And so the in-game adjustments are huge in 2025 and how football is being played. And so that's really, I think, critical is got to have coaches that can identify what's happening and make adjustments quick and show your players on the sideline and then get out there and go make it happen, And so, but yeah, it's going to be, it'll be interesting to see how those things kind of play out. Offensively, they do a nice job. They can throw it around. They like to run the quarterback. They put stress on you. They use a lot of different formations, a lot of shifts, unbalanced. And so you got to be prepared for everything in a game like this. And so, you work hard all week, kind of going through your checklist and saying, all right, do we have this covered, that covered, that covered? What if they do this? And so you got to do a lot of prepping for the unknown. And you probably spend time on things that you really didn't need to, but you have to, just in case someone comes out and gives you a 5-man surface. You got to be able to line up and you got to be able to do it like that quick when it's 3rd and 2 and it's a critical situation.
You said something there, and I want to get back to the Axe Bowl because that's obviously the focus of this. But you said something there that sparks my interest because you said the teams are completely different from last year. Like you got to take last year's results and how it went with a grain of salt. And I always like to, take advantage of coaches being able to ask them this when they come on the show because I'm just so fascinated with the transfer portal and how that's impacted not only just the D1 level, but, the D2 level too. Because I'd imagine there's somewhat of a struggle with a coach at the D2 level of like, okay, we want to develop our guys, obviously. We want to see them succeed. We want to see them play in the NFL. But if they play too well, it's like, okay, we're at risk of losing these guys too. So how much of a challenge is that and how hard is that to balance between we want to retain guys, keep building like players who have been in the system for 4 years, but also people seeking opportunities to jump up and play at the D1 level? What's that like as a coach in 2025?
It's a huge challenge. it's really difficult. It's tough to build a program. You're really building a team for 1 year. And then when the year's over, you hold your breath and you hope that everybody wants to stay and continue on the journey. But it's inevitable. It happens everywhere. And so it's part of the game now. And that's just the reality of college football. And that makes it really tough, and now with the NIL, there's a lot of money involved. And so, we've had a few guys from last year's team that are, Power 5 schools and Group of 5 schools, and some of them are getting paid a lot of money and they're doing well and they're starting. I mean, and I'm happy for those guys. Would I love to have those guys right now? Heck yeah. So, but yeah, you gotta just focus on the guys that you got, and you got to focus on making sure they have a great experience, and you got to make sure you do a great job with player development, and you got to have a great culture, and make sure guys are having a lot of fun in your program. And so I think all those things are critically important to continuing. And then obviously, when kids get the opportunity and it's life-changing, very happy for those guys. Brandon Rawls is at Oklahoma State, very happy for him. It was a life-changing opportunity. And I told him, I said, dude, you got to do it, and I'm happy for him. And I still talk to him, and his little brother's now here. So I always tease Brandon. I said, well, I got the best Rawls anyway. So, good luck at Oklahoma State. But yeah, it's a challenge everywhere. And it's going to continue to be that for the foreseeable future here.
Big game this weekend, Axe Bowl, Saginaw Valley versus Northwood. We've got Northwood's coach, Saginaw Valley's coach on right now, Ryan Brady. Last thing I got for you, can you give us a few names to keep an eye on this weekend that might have a big impact on the game?
Yeah, sure. I would keep an eye on Mason McKenzie, our quarterback. He's off to a good start. He's a good playmaker, dynamic with his legs. Terrence Brown, we moved him from running back into the slot, and he's off to a hot start. Keep an eye out on that SVSU O-line. They're a veteran group, been together for a long time, playing really well together. And then the defensive side of the football, Christian Boivin, middle linebacker for us, transferred from the University of Michigan, is really, really off to a hot start. He's just everywhere, man. He's a tackling machine. So those are definitely a couple names to keep an eye out.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this weekend. Hope to follow along on Saturday night. Should be a good time.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. I appreciate you guys having me on. You guys have a good one.
Absolutely. Welcome on anytime. One more time, that was Ryan Brady, SVSU head coach, head of the Axe Bowl this weekend. We'll be right back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt's Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, president and CEO of Greater Midland.
And so spending the time at Dow just gave me such experiences professionally, personally, growth, things around travel, just experiences and opportunities that I could have never imagined even when I was in school. And so, taking the time and finalizing, okay, this is the time to tap out at Dow and to look at what's the next adventure in my journey. And Greater Midland has always been part of my journey as well, being part of the board structures for many, many years, and knowing that my kids grew up in the center and my husband and I are very active, and it's home for me.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the VA Loon Tier program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. VA Loon Tier isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
The Ben Bosscher Show is brand new, and to celebrate, we want to make sure one listener is a big winner every Wednesday.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
On Wednesday, September 17th, we want to send one of our listeners to the Detroit Tigers game against the Atlanta Braves for their last regular season home series of 2025. At 10:15 a.m. on the Ben Bosscher Show, just get ready to text in the lucky word for your chance to be a winner thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
Let's go! Get him going!
Mondays this football season when you want the NFL. It's right here.
Let's make this thing happen. Come on.
We've got Monday Night Football all season long.
We got a big one coming up, guys.
Two playoff teams from last season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. Coverage 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, you want to run through something real quick, Kyle? I kind of want to do this on Fridays. This is going to be a lot more fun once there's a lot of conference games going. But let's run through a college football slate draft really quick. You know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, I know what you mean when you say that.
You draft a noon game, I draft a noon game, I draft a 3:30 game, you draft a 3:30 game. I guess it doesn't have to be 3:30, just a midday game.
Right.
And then a night game, and then a late night game, like a 9:30, 10 o'clock start.
I'm down.
You take first pick.
Oh, I take first pick for the noon games. Okay.
I guess you don't have to take a noon game first. You just have to fill out all 4 spots.
You just got to get all 4 spots. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to take then I'm not going to take the noon game first. I'm obviously going to take like the lone really good matchup this week, Georgia-Tennessee. 3:30 like it's the top matchup of the week for sure on ABC 3:30. Top 15 matchup. SEC play getting started here in week 3. You love to see it. I think it's pretty interesting with Joey Aguilar here in Tennessee with obviously the weird situation of him and Nico swapping spots or whatever, even though Aguilar never had played for UCLA, was going to. And Georgia obviously really good. So just an SEC matchup this early in the season, that's going to be my pick.
Okay, I was devious with this. You know, there's another midday game, or I guess just a day game that I really want, but I don't have to take it because you already filled your spot. So that's going to be my last pick. It's another ranked matchup.
Is it South Florida, Miami?
It might be South Florida, Miami. I will take. I'll take the Michigan game at noon. Why not?
Really? Michigan CMU.
I want to see what Bryce Underwood looks like, you know?
See, I didn't even need to take it because I'm already going to be there. So, like, I kind of already just get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I automatically, I get it. I don't even have to draft it.
That's true. That's a good point. And then for my second pick.
Oh, snake draft.
Yes, of course. Snake draft. Oh, what am I doing? There's 2 games I'm staring at.
There's 2 night games I want.
Yeah.
And I don't really know which one. I'll probably just be cool with the one you don't take.
And
there's a third one. There's a sneaky third one, too, actually.
Yeah, there is. And I know what game you're talking about. You're talking about South Carolina Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
that's the sneaky third one.
I mean, that's a tight spread. 3.5 points for South Carolina.
No, you know what?
Vanderbilt looks good.
Watch this. You can have Notre Dame, Texas A&M. You can have LSU, Florida, DJ Lagway playing for his life. Really for Billy Napier's life. I want to watch Lenore Sellers. Give me Lenore Sellers and Dylan Stewart. I want South Carolina at home.
And you want to watch Diego Pavia, man. I mean, like,
Yes.
Vanderbilt has looked good, too. Like, yeah, that's a fun matchup.
I'm taking that one.
Okay.
You can have the Notre Dame Texas A&M game.
I don't know if I want it.
I know. There's something about it where I'm just not that interested.
I'm really not that interested. I don't know. Like you said, I really don't know why. I obviously am going to watch it. Like, I'm not like I'm just not going to watch it.
It's the quarterback play.
But
that's what it is.
I want Florida LSU, man.
Yeah.
Give me Florida LSU. And I think the main reason why I want this, we talked about this on the show, and so I'm not going to harp on it too much here. But Florida's schedule is unreal. Like, as far as top 10 teams they play this season that are currently ranked in the top 10, this is the first of 5 of them, Ben.
My God.
and then they still have to play A&M, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, who are outside of the top 10 but ranked. So 8 ranked teams on their schedule, not even counting South Florida, who they lost to. This could be the early week of, like, wow, Florida is going to win 2 games this season. They're going to go
last year's Florida State.
They're legitimately going to go 2-10. Or they upset LSU because this still is a tight line, 7.5-point spread, despite it being unranked versus number 3, and it's at LSU.
And suddenly they're back.
And all of a sudden maybe Florida is going to upset a bunch of teams. So that's why, and just like you said, the quarterback play, Lagway, Nussmeier, that's what makes this a ton of fun. So I'll take that as my, well, I guess I shouldn't have taken that because I left the noon slate open. No, it doesn't matter.
I already took a noon game.
Yeah,
I took Michigan.
Doesn't matter. Okay, give me Florida LSU, even though the Battle of Ohio State versus the Bobcats.
Right.
Sneaky good matchup. Watch out for the Bobcats, man. They just upset West Virginia last week.
Ohio State's a little bit of a different animal, I would say.
Yeah. Parker Navarro, though, probably going to win Player of the Year in the MAC, like guaranteed. Just unreal that guy is.
Are you still up, or did you take 2 games?
Oh, no, I got to take 2 games. Shoot, I forgot about that. This is dumb. Why are we doing a snake draft? Okay, so I just had the noon slate then, right? Or you said there's a 4th time slot?
Yeah, the very late night game.
Oh, that's right.
10 o'clock or later. Actually,
is there
9 o'clock or later.
I mean, there's not even a ton of those.
Just take one then.
No, I want to get my noon game out of the way, and I'll just pick whichever late game you don't want.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there really isn't that many good noon games this week. I probably should pick Wisconsin, Alabama, but I'm not. I'm actually going to pick Clemson, Georgia Tech. I think that's going to be a really fun game because it's at Georgia Tech. Clemson is just 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah.
Haynes King seems to be the guy that, like, the quarterback that is under the radar, but everyone knows he's under the radar, if that makes sense, you know? He's like everyone's go-to, like, Haynes King is kind of good, right?
Yeah.
And so Georgia Tech's offense is pretty fun. Clemson, obviously, coming off of their loss early in the season. This could be a top of the ACC potential rematch come the end of the season. Who knows? So, I mean, obviously, I have Miami and still in there and everything. But, yeah, I'll pick this game.
I'll take South Florida and then Miami. versus Miami as my day game. Miami 17-point favorites in this. I don't know, man. South Florida's looked really good in their first 2 games. They took it to Boise State.
What a crazy non-conference schedule for them.
No kidding. Then not only did they beat Boise State, they beat the brakes off of them. And then they did the same thing to Florida last week. And now can they take down Miami, who's the 5th best team, led by Carson Beck? Kind of want to see him as well. I'll take that as my day game. And then the night game, not really anything of interest for the 10 o'clock slate. So maybe Saturday night. If you're,
Saturday night.
I truly operate on like what's going on in the sports world. Like people ask me to do something on the weekend. I'm like, hold on, let me look. Like, what am I potentially missing? Saturday night is actually the time to like go out and do something because there's not a ton of crazy games.
But the good games to go out and do something, you're going out at 11 o'clock then.
Well, you're still young,
You're the one complaining about Michigan State starting at 11 o'clock next week.
Well, okay, let's see. If we want to watch the South Carolina game, that starts at 7:45.
Yeah, I guess
you're right.
Over till after 11 o'clock.
You're right. For the very late game, I'll take Minnesota, California. I have no actual reason.
Yeah. I literally could care less about any of these games that are late. Boston College and Stanford. I'll take Texas State, Arizona State. See how Sam Leavitt bounces back after the loss.
Okay, 989-837-6125. We've got a lot to get to here in the 11 o'clock hour. We haven't even hit the news yet. Can you believe that? We'll hit the news. We'll do our 2 traditions. I will give you a pick for the big fight tomorrow night, but we still got to talk about this Lions team. Who's under more pressure? Johnny Morton, Calvin Sheppard. We got some audio from Calvin Sheppard when we come back for the 11 o'clock hour. It's the Ben Bosscher Show right here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Got house projects you push till the fall? Get the right tools. Select Milwaukee Power Tools. Buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. Keep that deck looking brand spanking new. Save $5 instantly on Thompson's Water Seal Wood Sealer and $10 on a gallon of cabin exterior stain. And download the Ace app and get a $10 instant bonus.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
The Ben Bosscher Show is brand new, and to celebrate, we want to make sure one listener is a big winner every Wednesday.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
On Wednesday, September 17th, we want to send one of our listeners to the Detroit Tigers game against the Atlanta Braves for their last regular season home series of 2025. At 10:15 a.m. on the Ben Bosscher Show, just get ready to text in the lucky word for your chance to be a winner thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
They tell us we're more connected these days. We have cell phones, email, text messaging, yet we've never felt more disconnected from the people we care about the most. We need a place that's all about bringing us together. Say hello to the Great Lakes Bay region, where towns like Saginaw, Midland, Bay City, Birch Run, Chesaning, and Frankenmuth help us leave behind the overscheduled world we live in and visit a place we haven't seen in a while. One where the people make us feel right at home. And we remember just how bright our kids' eyes get, peeking through a riverboat railing, just to catch a glimpse of the wildlife. So let's go fishing, bird watching. Let's blow the suds off a local tap, take a tall ship dinner cruise at sunset, or stop by a festival just because the name made us smile. Right here in the Great Lakes Bay region, where reconnecting with what really matters is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
from the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. We are live here from the Blazy Electric Studio, Top Dow Diamond. Lots of stuff to still get to here with the final hour before we send you into the weekend. All right, who's under more pressure, Johnny Morton or Calvin Sheppard? I thought Calvin Sheppard had a worse performance last week, even though the offense was worse than the defense. I think the offense was more so pinned on how bad the interior of the offensive line was. And a lot of that was communication, missed assignments. If you want to blame that on coaching, I'm not going to stop you from it. I just thought some of the schematic stuff that Calvin Sheppard was doing, like dropping Aiden Hutchinson and Davenport back into coverage, is like, what are we doing here? With that being said, Calvin Sheppard gave one of the best press conferences you will possibly hear yesterday. Usually we don't try to play audio any more than 20 seconds. But there's 1 minute worth of audio that I'm about to play that is just phenomenal. This is Calvin Sheppard yesterday. Take a listen.
Looked like Kirby bit down on an over route there.
Kirby did exactly what he was supposed to do.
So he has the ability to kind of ad-lib.
Kirby did exactly what he was supposed to do with the structure of the defense.
And then on the pick play, how can Terrion defend that better?
By learning by previous mistakes. You guys been around here. We got the exact same play at San Francisco last year. Turn it on to Pearsall. Learn from your mistakes. You're a professional.
How much did the groin play into those two plays that he...
If you're injured, come out the game. If you're injured, come out the game. We're not making any excuses. No. We're not making any excuses. Just like if I have a play called I shouldn't have called, that's on me. A player has a job to do, that's on them. We all earn our paycheck. There won't be any free rides this year. We all come to the stadium with a job to do your job, point blank, period.
What is Ben's greatest strength as a play caller?
Everything. Next question.
That might have to be like a must listen to every Thursday going forward. That is just pure gold from Calvin Sheppard. What's your favorite? What's Ben Johnson do well? Everything. Next question. It's perfect.
That was the best part.
It's perfect.
Everything.
He's bringing some intensity. And they've already, all but said, like, we're not dropping Hutchinson back into coverage again. Like, we've made some adjustments. I can't believe they actually did that in the first place. But with that being said, I do think there's a little bit more pressure on Calvin Sheppard this week. There might be more pressure on the offense in general to finally show up. But I think in terms of, like, who had a worse week last week and who we've been hyping up more, it's that defense. Like, I came into the year expecting a top 10, top 5 defense. They didn't look like one last week against the Green Bay Packers. I need to see that this week against the Bears if I'm a Lions fan watching Calvin Sheppard. I think it's Shep who's under a little bit more pressure heading into this weekend.
I think so too, but also shouldn't it be at least more pressure on the offense this week to respond rather than the defense?
Yeah, but if Caleb Williams cooks you and dices you up, we've got problems, like big problems.
Do we? With Ben Johnson at the helm in Game 2 after kind of getting the wrinkles out in Game 1?
Ben Johnson, we
just heard he's good at everything, dude.
That's true. He is good at everything. You know what Ben Johnson has no impact on? How inaccurate Caleb Williams is as quarterback. He's one of the most inaccurate.
That's wrong.
What do you mean?
The very first drive of the game, that was clearly the case. Like, Ben Johnson made a clear impact on that.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. He can scheme up a great game plan. Like, I expect him to go up and down the field that first drive and be awesome. Like that's what Ben Johnson was so good at here, drawing up that first drive. But after that, I think they need to shut down this Bears team for me to feel good about it. Caleb Williams is an inaccurate quarterback. Yeah. Like it's just one of the more inaccurate quarterbacks in the league. It's like him, Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix. You just can't put it on the money. A lot of the balls he throws to his receivers just aren't really catchable. I'm not worried about Caleb Williams, but if he does, like, holy cow, he just had one of the best games of his career, week 2 with Ben Johnson against this Lions defense, I'm going to be worried about the defense as well as being worried about the offense. The offense I kind of expect, like, slow progression throughout the year with that offensive line getting better and gelling a little bit more. The defense, I need to see it. Like, I need to see and make sure that all my offseason predictions and opinions on this team are still capable of happening, you know?
Right. Yeah, and I do also think that this was something that Kelvin Sheppard talked about in that full press conference. And it's obvious, but, like, Green Bay, it had a lot of explosive plays in that game. Like, if you take away the 2 or 3 big pass plays that they had, like, the Lions' defense was honestly pretty solid, and the run defense was pretty good in general. So I don't think that the defense had a necessarily bad game against Green Bay. I just think that the lack of pressure was kind of the number one thing that you noticed with this defense, when overall it really wasn't the worst game in the world. It's easy to say, oh, if you take away a couple plays, we look good. So, I mean,
You can say that about any NFL game ever.
That's what I'm saying. But I think it is a valid point. Like, I don't think that the defense was god-awful by any means. So, you could say there's more pressure on Kelvin Sheppard, but I would say that it's definitely more so on the offense, whether that's on Morton or it's on everyone involved in the offense. That doesn't necessarily matter to me.
If Caleb Williams walks into Ford Field and has any sort of success, I'm going to be pretty disappointed. They have to be able to get after the quarterback, and I'm just going to say it. Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed need to play a lot better. And a lot of that last week was not because of them. I think it was more so because Jordan Love had all the time in the world to throw. I think the time to throw scores on PFF can be a little misleading because if you just run around and buy yourself a ton of time, you're going to have more time to throw. But no pressure on Jordan Love throughout the course of the game led to Terrion and DJ Reed being picked on a little bit. I think we have to see better performances from those guys, right? They have to, when they dial it up the blitz, connect on a few of those.
Yeah.
The linebackers and Brian Branch, it felt like, had no impact on disrupting Jordan Love throughout last week. Now, I think Caleb Williams is prone to a few mistakes, the same way that last year Jordan Love was prone to a few mistakes. But they need to actually force him into these mistakes first before we're ready to just, like, say that this is one of the better defenses in the NFL, So I think there's a little bit more pressure on the defense. In terms of the offense, there's certainly pressure. I don't think it's as much on Johnny Morton. They just have to be better on the offensive line. It is as simple as that to me.
That's kind of what John Morton talked about, too, in his. It was very bland, but it made sense. Like, they just have to be better. And I think that you can say that when you know that there's a better version of what we saw. It'd be different if it's a bad team that has just been bad all year and, like, yeah, we just got to be better. When it's just not even capable of having that ceiling. Whereas with this Lions offensive line and everyone involved, the weapons, the run game, we all know what it is capable of doing because we've seen it the last 2 or 3 seasons. So, yeah, I think that I would be surprised if we saw this exact version of the Lions offense this week. And so maybe that is a good point as far as there's more pressure on the defense rather than the offense. You would just expect the offense to be better this week, right? Like, no matter what. There's no way it's as bad as it was last week.
It would be pretty difficult for it to be worse than last week, to say the least. Yeah. I expect them to be a lot better. For sure. If they're not, how much are you going to panic?
Well, what does that result in if they're not? If they're not, like, it wasn't good enough to win the game, then obviously we're going to panic a ton.
Yeah.
If they still get the win because the defense played good, obviously it's still going to be panic. But honestly, no matter what happens, you just have to win. Like, you win the game on Sunday, I'm not going to be sitting here, like, super panicked about, the offense still didn't look great. We still didn't really get a ton of pressure. Just win. Because we know how week 3 is going to look. You just have to win this game, as ugly or pretty as it is.
I'm not a big fan of looking at week 3.
Right, so
let's
focus on week 2 for now then, right? Good thing we have another week before then.
Yeah, without a doubt. 989-837-6125. I'll tell you why it's a must-win game when we come back. Work into Michigan as well. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at PremierTileStone.com.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros.
Ticket to your local high school's game or performance. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in. We got a must-win game. I mean, they don't happen all that often for the Detroit Lions until January because of how solid this organization has been. But it is without a doubt a must-win game for the Detroit Lions on Sunday. 1 o'clock against the Bears. If they don't win this game, they're 0-2. Their chances of making the playoffs go to 11%. And then you walk into Baltimore Monday night primetime to take on might be the best team in the NFL, in the Ravens. You lose that game, you're 0-3. Chances of making the playoffs go from 11% to less than 3%. If you don't think this is a must-win game, I got bad news for you. You're wrong. They have to win on Sunday for their season to still have some hope. You can go 0-3 and you can convince yourself like, hey, we can pull off a miracle. The Bengals have done it a handful of times. Most of the time, They fall just short and are like alive week 17. They did enough to be there at the end, but they don't make the playoffs. They have to win on Sunday against the Bears. They have to beat Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. Without it, like, you can't go 0-2 in the division to start the season. You just can't have it. Need to see improvement from the offensive line. Need to see some pressure after the quarterback. This team just needs to be the Super Bowl contender we thought they were going to be to open up the season. And if they're not, then look like the team that went out there Sunday, I think we might have to readjust our expectations for the Lions this season.
And when you just compare it to the thing that I've kind of been discounting now for a couple weeks, and the schedule. I mean, the schedule does have to come into play here. Like I said, it doesn't. I've talked about how you just have to face a team that's in front of you. But if you start 0-2, you just look at who you have to play the rest of the way, and you're like, man, Chicago is legitimately one of the easiest teams they have to play all year.
Yeah.
And so that's really the scary part, especially knowing that all of the really good teams you have to play on the road, which is just super unfortunate that that's the case. I did want to ask you this, though, about Ben Johnson returning to Detroit, because I feel like we haven't really touched on that maybe as much as that's going to be the main storyline of this game, obviously. Who does it benefit more, do you think? Ben Johnson with this like vengeance of I'm my own coach now. I'm in Chicago. I'm coming into Detroit because he's shown that he's like this fiery guy. Like he's probably going to love all the booze and everything, and he probably wants to get the win over his old team. Or does it benefit this Lions offense more like, hey, we don't care who's calling the plays. We still have all these talented players, and we're going to show it to Ben Johnson. You should have never left. Who do you think that benefits more in this game?
I think the Ben Johnson thing is no longer something that Lions fans should be concerned about because of how bad they were on Sunday and what is on the line this Sunday. Like, the Ben Johnson thing should be the last thing the Lions fans are worried about. Not to just like totally dodge your question, but like you're right in terms of like if they would have won that game on Sunday against Green Bay, the big storyline would be Ben Johnson. I think the big storyline now is like, dude, are the Lions any good? Like, are they going to be able to survive this? The storyline's no longer like Johnson versus Campbell back at home. It is a storyline. But for me, the big storyline is, hey, man, are the Lions okay? Like, are the Lions not the team we thought they were? Because if they lose this game, it's like, no, the answer is probably not. That to me trumped the Ben Johnson return to Detroit storyline, no? Am I wrong? Do you disagree?
I think they play into each other hand in hand, though. Like, because, I mean, even anytime you hear someone nationally talking about the Lions right now as far as this first week, it comes back to the change at offensive coordinator. How many times have we heard in the last week, oh, they should have, they hired in-house, they got complacent, you know, that we've been hearing that time and time again. You go on ESPN's homepage, and there's a headline that says, the Lions OC not in panic mode after week 1 dud. Like, it's talking about the offensive coordinator. And Ben Johnson leaving as the golden child hire, essentially. Like, it's totally still the storyline. But to your point, like, yeah, we didn't expect this subplot to come along the line of, wow, are the Lions actually good? But that plays hand in hand into the Ben Johnson stuff, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I think the Johnny Morton quotes from this week are just so weird, though. He's like, we're not in a panic. Well, yeah, what do you, like, what do you, did anyone expect him to go up on the microphone and say, we're panicking?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that became such a story.
Over.
Like, I'm getting ESPN push notifications
It's a story because of Ben Johnson. Like, that's why it's a story.
That's fair. That's a good point.
Because that's all the talk was all offseason. Ben Johnson left. Can the Lions offense still be good? And then it wasn't. And whether or not that's John Morton's fault or not, I think most Lions fans realize it probably isn't so far. It's the actual personnel in the offensive line. But not everyone else kind of realizes that. It comes down to, they have a different offensive coordinator. They hired a guy in-house. They lost the best head coach candidate. Well, their offense isn't going to be any good anymore. And then those thoughts were confirmed week 1.
Yeah, it's the big storyline for me is just going to continue. Like, I think the Lions should be more worried about themselves and looking in the mirror than they are concerned with, like, oh, we got to go beat Ben Johnson. Like, I don't think that's the motivation for the guys anymore. Hey, we got to go beat Ben Johnson. Like, we just got to right the ship and do what we can control. We got to make sure that we're all right, you know? We got to go execute the things that we need to execute. And that doesn't go for just a Bears thing. Like, that's an in general for the course of the season. What is going on with this Lions team? Are you nervous? It's a 6-point favorite, 6.5-point spread. Like, they should take this game. I don't know, man. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel all that fantastic.
I don't think I'm as negative as you are when it comes to this stuff. I still feel confident they're going to beat the Bears. This is the Bears at the end of the day. Like, we saw what happened week 1 against Minnesota. This is just who the Bears are. They lose a lot of football games. It's early in Ben Johnson's career. I do not trust Caleb Williams to be that guy just yet. He really has not proven it. Their defense has stepped up, and I thought it looked really good against Minnesota, so I think that's a fair thing. They're also going up against a quarterback that's played the first game in his career and clearly showed some signs of development early in that game, I guess is a good way of putting it for J.J. McCarthy. So, no, I'm not nearly as concerned as you. The Lions should win this game. Come kickoff, I'll probably be pretty nervous, obviously, once the game is actually happening. Like, oh, my God, they can't lose this game, and I'll be watching it a lot more tensely than I was in week 1, I think. But nonetheless, I'm not nervous that they will lose. I think the Lions will win this game.
I do too. I think they'll win, but I don't know if it's going to be by that 6.5. That is what seems to worry me.
Yeah, I mean they play the Bears tight for the most part. Like it's not a team that they blow out a lot.
No, they never really have. And I always thought like this would be finally the time that they have some motivation to do it, go shut Ben Johnson down. But like I don't think they're talking about Ben Johnson internally anymore. Of like, oh, I mean the coaching staff I'm sure is when they're scheming up against it, but I don't think it's like, oh, we got to go take it to him, like St. Brown and them doing that. Like, we just got to be better ourselves.
Right. Lions at home, I think, plays into this, though.
Oh, yeah, first home game,
and
for sure.
But Ben Johnson returning, like, the fans are going to be, whether or not the Lions care about it, I know the fans do.
That's true. Yeah. I can get behind that. I hope Ben Johnson gets booed to the 10th degree. Like, give it to him.
For sure will.
Give it to him, Lions fans.
Boo his kids, too.
Boo his kids, boo his wife, boo everything.
Yeah, boo his whole family, all of them. That's who it's really directed at.
Boo Ben Johnson. That's your goal if you're going to a Lions game. If you are going to a Lions game, have fun. All right, if you need to hire fast, let Spherion do the heavy lifting and get your great candidates without the hassle. Their simple online hiring platform makes finding the right employees, quick and easy. Post jobs, review applicants, and connect with top talent, all from your phone or computer. Whether you're staffing short-term projects or building your dream team, Spherion has your back. Get back to running your business while Spherion handles the hiring headache. Hiring made simple, smart, and online. That's Spherion, and this is the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Sarah's here, our director of sales. You know her, local celebrity. Hi, guys. You got to turn your microphone on for it to work.
Uh-oh.
There
wait,
it is.
I got it.
There it is. Sarah, what's going on?
Oh, nothing. Do you want to hear my hot take right away?
No, I want to hear how you're doing.
I'm doing good. I have been on a shopping spree. I'm not gonna lie. So I got some new pants.
Okay, no, I don't want to hear about
okay.
that. I want to now. I want to hear your hot take.
Okay. So my hot take is nothing related to sports today. But my biggest thing is like when you're dating and someone takes you on a first date, if they pay with a gift card, you're lazy. And that's it.
Lazy or poor?
You're poor. You're poor. Here's the thing. Because if you're trying to impress somebody and you throw down, like you're at Texas Roadhouse. Nothing against Texas Roadhouse. I love Texas Roadhouse. But if you can't pay for like a $30 meal, I feel like that says a lot about you. If you're like, oh, here's my gift card. You're like, oh, you didn't really want to impress me at all. You just wanted to take me out where you had a gift card and then pay with the gift card.
Okay, I was actually behind you.
This is an absurd take.
Wait.
This is a first date, though. If you have been dating for a while and then you pay with a gift card, pay with a gift card.
I actually was going to agree with her. Like, I wouldn't use a gift card on a first date either. I think it's just kind of a bad look.
Correct.
But you saying, here's where you lost me. If you're trying to impress me, why does the guy like have to try to impress a girl on the first date? Shouldn't it just be a natural, like, do we like each other, or not? Why does the guy have to like go out of his way to try to impress her? It should just be mutual respect.
But I feel like a guy should just be like, oh, I want to like, show her that like I'm paying for it. Like I'm the man. So I'm going to put down my card, not a gift card.
This is very sexist of you.
I'm the man.
Yeah,
I'm the man.
It feels like we're really like jumping into gender roles here.
So are you just out? Are you just out on gift cards in general?
No. I love.
What if
gift
you just
cards.
had a gift
For
card
first
and
date.
then? What if you just
because
so
I
happen
feel
to
like
have?
it's lazy. It's like, oh, I didn't put any thought into this. I have a gift card to Texas Roadhouse.
what
I'm
if-
taking you to Texas
what if-
Roadhouse.
What if you wanted to go to Texas Roadhouse?
It doesn't matter. On a first date, you
Don't
don't,
even
you don't
use
lay
it?
down the gift card. No.
So even if I got it in my wallet, just don't use it.
Correct.
See, the thing is, I'm somewhat aligned with her.
No.
I don't think I would do this, but I don't like her
Agreed.
reasoning behind this.
Okay, then what's your reasoning?
I don't know what my reasoning is, other than like, I kind of agree with you. It's just not a good look. Like you want to be able to.
Like, I feel like, okay, this is more of my explanation. It feels like you didn't really want to go on the date, but you just, like, picked a place that
convenient.
you knew. Correct.
I agree
and then
with.
it's like you don't really want to, because it's like, well, I had a gift card to this place. And then if you actually hit it off and then you pay with a gift card, again, it just looks lazy. It's like, oh, you
It's
just
a
to the
deal
girl.
breaker?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's so
'Cause then you're
shallow.
just like,
Really?
Like, oh, you didn't really want to take me out anyways just because you had a gift card. And now that it went well, you still got the gift card.
How about this? Why isn't it a 50-50 split date?
No.
Who's paying for the bill?
No.
Why is that not it,
Gender
Sarah?
roles.
Oh, we're bringing Sarah's pro gender roles.
Pro gender
Yes.
roles.
Let's
much banging
regress
on the
as a
table.
society.
That's just my thoughts.
Sarah,
now, again, like I said, if you've been dating and you have a gift card to Texas Roadhouse, use that gift card. I love gift cards. I'm not against gift cards. And the woman can pay here and there. That's fine. But for a first date, no.
What if you bring your first date to like a bar that you have credits at?
Now that's different.
Oh, how is that any different?
Yeah, how is that
'Cause
literally any
you're
different?
Still tipping. You're still tipping.
You're still tipping
The
with a gift
waitress
card.
on your card. No, because you don't use your credits to tip.
Okay, so what if you use a gift card and throw cash down on the table as a tip?
No.
Okay,
It's
what
a
if
gift
it's just
card.
like what if it's like I got $20 left on this gift card and the bill is going to be like $70?
No.
You just can't use
Not
that.
a
What are
gift
you
card at
ordering
all.
at Texas Roadhouse?
I mean, if you're going like getting fancy drinks and shit, I'm just asking, like.
Let's say we go like I take it or you take like you get taken out downtown.
Yeah.
What's a nice restaurant downtown?
Grazie or something.
Yeah.
1018.
Right.
And it's like a $100 bill, and he uses $20. Like, hey, I'm just gonna use this up the rest of it. You're like, oh, no second date. I liked you. This was really fun. Thanks for all the drinks, by the way. But no second date because you pulled out a gift card.
Here's the thing. If he prefaces it like, okay, I guess if it's like a $200 bill and he's like, hey, I got $20 on this gift card. I'm gonna throw it on this gift card and then pay for the rest of it. I'm like, okay, like, I kind of get it.
I'm in agreement with you. Like, you
But
can't
if
like
you're
have a
just, like-
$20, $30 meal and be like, oh, here's a gift card. I'm with you.
No.
Like, if you're taking
if it's a couple hundred and you use a $20 gift card because you had it left over, that's whatever.
I'm not
But if it's like
crazy
you're going,
expensive first date.
if it's like a $40 or $50 meal and you can't take care of that and you throw it on a gift card, and then the bills end up being like $25, I'd be like, what the heck?
It sounds
You
like
little
Sarah's just
cheapo?
anti-poor.
Yeah, I'm anti-poor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
John
It's
said
just like-
John said that you got him a gift card. When is he allowed to use it?
Not on a first date. Not on a first date.
No, he can't use it at all.
No, he actually can't use it at all. It has to stay in his wallet.
Sarah said, Kevin LeDuc said in the chat, Sarah, say his name on air. You're amongst friends here. Has this happened to you?
No, this has not happened. It's just my
Does it happen to your
stance.
friends?
No. But we had this discussion in the ticket office. And that's where I stood. And I was like, it was me and one other girl. And then everybody else thought it was fine to use a gift card.
I'm somewhere in the middle, as I am on most hot topics these days.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
Sarah.
totally out on it. So
Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
That
Thanks for having
I
me.
feel like that actually has a chance to do pretty well on our socials. You know, everyone's still chasing the high of week 1 of the Ben Bosscher show, and Sarah became legitimately famous in Kansas City because of the things she said about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
That was good stuff.
That was good. That was a good, genuine take from Sarah. You know. All right. With that being said, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Breaking news. I have a gift card that I'm throwing away in my wallet.
Yeah, I'm never using a gift card
See
again.
what gift? Oh, I don't have my wallet with me.
I would love to know if this is how all women feel, or if this is just a Sarah thing.
Oh, we can ask like 4% of our audience then?
yeah, let us all know. Okay, let's hop into the news. Haven't done it yet today. Had a couple injuries come out of last night's game on Thursday Night Football. Austin Eckler tearing his Achilles for Washington. Tough news for the veteran running back. And then on the flip side for Green Bay, Jaden Reed, former Michigan State Spartan, breaks his collarbone, expected to be out 5 to 8 weeks.
These Thursday games, especially early on in the season, it's just such a tough turnaround for these guys, man. It's the NFL. It's a sport where it's violent. There's going to be injuries. There's no way to avoid it. It's just tough with the short turnarounds, you know? It's almost like you expect this to happen.
Which, I mean, it sucks to expect this to happen, you know. But whatever. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Unfortunate, though, obviously, that it happened so early. Season-ending injury for Eckler on that side of things. Tucker Kraft, though, career game last night. 6 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown. I do not like Tucker Kraft.
I don't think any Lions fans like Tucker Kraft.
I'm not a fan of him.
Screw that guy.
But he had a really good game last night, so I figured that was a little bit notable. If you started Tucker Kraft in fantasy, you're off to a really good start this week, that's for sure.
Oh, top 5 fantasy football feeling when you get off to an awesome start on a Thursday night.
Doesn't happen very often, I feel like.
No, it doesn't. It feels more likely that you just kind of get a dud performance. Like Terry McLaurin last night, I had him going 9 points. It's like, we're going to need to bounce back from that.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to need to step up. But when you do have a guy go off for like 25, 30 points on Thursday, great start.
Let's move over to some baseball news. The Tigers obviously played a game yesterday. Haven't really talked about that much today. They lose to the Yankees 9-3. Aaron Judge ties Joe DiMaggio for 4th all-time on the Yankees home run list. 2 homers against the Tigers last night. Sawyer Gibson-Long gives up 7 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings pitched, Ben.
There's a reason that we hadn't talked about that Tigers game. That was gross last night. But guess what? Still won the series.
Like John said, had to let him win yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like it was nice of the Tigers. They beat them up so bad for 2 games that it was like, okay, fine. You can have a win. We want to see you in the playoffs. Here's an extra win for you.
Yeah. More homer news. Mike Trout hitting his 399th home run last night, and it was breaking his longest home run drought of his career. He had gone 28 straight games played that he had played in without a home run, which is the longest of his career. Kind of crazy that it's just 28. But 399th home run, so just one more to the big 400 for Mike Trout. Good for him.
Good for him.
NBA news, because this Kawhi Leonard situation with the LA Clippers continuing to get more and more interesting. So
I was just about to say, when is this coming up?
yeah, Adam Silver a couple days ago, earlier this week, basically spoke about a bunch of things when he announced the new rules about the half-court shots and stuff. Also spoke about this situation with the Clippers and said, well, we're going to go out, we're going to see what happens here, but we're not going to do anything until we have hardcore evidence that ties the Clippers directly being involved with this. Because
and Pablo Torre said, watch this.
Right. Steve Ballmer played dumb, essentially, when he was asked about it, which I kind of believed him at first, which maybe I still do. But Pablo Torre comes out with more evidence, the guy who's been all over this case, and he reports that Clippers minority owner Dennis J. Wong, a limited partner with the Clippers, reportedly sent a $2 million endorsement to the company, and within a week, Kawhi Leonard was paid out $1.75 million by the company, and apparently Kawhi Leonard was paid late as well. He was supposed to get paid earlier than that, aka maybe right after the $2 million came in from the Clippers minority owner. Obviously, this is probably the more hardcore piece of evidence that has come from this so far.
It's damning.
Yes.
Is what it is.
So, I don't know. This is this is a weird spot because you gotta, if you're Adam Silver, Steve Ballmer is so important for the NBA and he's so important for the league, but they have to set a precedent here with a harsh punishment.
I think the hand of God is about to come down on the Clippers. This is
if you don't, then every team just starts doing this. You know,
and I think a lot of teams are doing this to a very less degree. Like,
probably
you can use our private jet. You can, we'll get you a house in whatever area you'd like.
Right.
But not an extra $28 million just right to the bank account.
And it's
off
more
the
than
salary
that.
cap table.
It's been even more stuff has come out that it's closer to $50 million over the course of time given to Kawhi.
And you know what the crazy thing is? Even if the hand of God comes down on the Clippers and they get all their first-round picks taken away for a decade, Kawhi Leonard doesn't really get punished at all. He just becomes a free agent, isn't really getting as much money, but it sounds like he got enough money to where it doesn't really matter. And guess what? He becomes a free agent and can sign anywhere. Guess what team has the most cap space available to sign him?
The Brooklyn Nets?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, what? How is that
Yep.
even possible?
I don't know. The defending champs.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here. It has to be a harsh punishment, or else why would every other team who has these bajillionaire owners just not do the same thing? If the punishment is, oh, we're going to take away your couple second-round picks the next couple drafts?
No.
Because that's been the punishment lately for the tampering that happened in free agency.
Yeah, but this is way
taking away
worse than
second-round
tampering.
picks. Of course it is, but I'm just saying that's like the latest punishment we've essentially seen been given out by the league.
Well, when they did this with Joe Smith, the Timberwolves, 3 first-round picks got taken away.
Right.
The problem is the Clippers don't have their 26 picks. They've got their 27. They have their 29. And this is also way more money. So, like, if you're taking away their 27,
and it's
29.
Kawhi Leonard. Like, it's not like Joe Smith was a solid player. This is a star player in the NBA.
So let's say, like, they go from 3 picks to 5 picks. 27, 29, 30, 31. Like, dude, you guys just you just don't have picks
what do you
or
do?
young players.
It really sets them back, obviously.
It sets them back. They're
But
going to be the
also,
worst team in the league for a decade.
That was David Stern's NBA. And
This
so
is
this is the first
different.
time Silver has had to do. I mean, Silver has given out a punishment to the LA Clippers. It was his first active duty when he became the commissioner, was banning David Sterling from the NBA.
And not only do they not have picks to draft young players and develop talent, they want to have picks to, like, trade for anything substantial either. They're just going to suck for like a decade. That's terrible for the league. They just moved into a new stadium. They're playing out in
The
LA.
All-Star game is there this year.
It is. They're already behind the 8 ball because the Lakers are in town. They've got the most well-known owner in the league, the richest owner in the league in Ballmer. This is bad stuff, man. It's getting more. It feels like it's more and more leaning towards, like, the most logical thing is this just happened.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm excited to see it. We'll end things there.
All right, 989-837-6125. 2 traditions to close out each show and score predictions for this weekend when we come back. Ben Bosscher Show, 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm here with Matt.
Teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 2 traditions to close out every show. We don't have a ton of time. We got to do score predictions as well. Let's do that first. I've got Lions 26, Bears 20.
Ooh, okay. I will go. I think it's going to be a little bit more low scoring, actually. I'll go Lions 20, Bears 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michigan. I've got 35.
Don't put me in this
35-3.
35-3. Oh, the Chippewas aren't getting in the end zone?
No.
Nah, Michigan's not scoring that much. They're not capable. Give me Michigan 27, Chippewas 16.
Okay. I like that. Michigan State against Youngstown State. I don't even know what to guess because there's no spread.
FCS. I think that's why there's no spread. I was looking it up. They're an FCS school.
They weren't always, though, were
but
they?
You can. I don't know if they always were. No.
Didn't they play Youngstown State like 3 years ago?
You can still play. I mean, they're playing an FCS school right now. You know. Like,
no, I know, but I thought that when they played them like 3 years ago, they were not an FCS school. I don't know. I'm guessing Michigan State 37. This school 20.
Yeah, 41-0. You
Wow.
know, like I'm just. They should destroy this team, right?
I
don't know anything about them though, so you're right. Yeah.
All right, those are our score predictions. I felt like I just had to work this in just because I'm not going to pretend to be a boxing expert by any means, but I have been pretty interested in this fight leading up to it. So the thing that's the most interesting about this Canelo-Crawford fight to me is Canelo's making $150 million for this fight tomorrow night on Netflix. $150 million. A lot of it's paid for by the Saudis. Guess how much Crawford's making?
Anything less than like 20 million would be crazy.
10 million.
What?
Canelo's getting 15 times more than Crawford is.
But
I feel like that comes into play here.
You get a check for win or loss, though, correct?
I don't know if they do with this Netflix thing.
Oh, you're right.
I don't know if they do. I couldn't find anything that the winner gets this amount. Look, I'm looking at this fight like who's more desperate, who's more hungry. Canelo's a legend no matter what. Crawford kind of needs this a little bit, and the fact that he had an interesting quote that I read too. It was like, "I'm not here for the money, man." I think the correct quote was, "I'm not here for the money, dog. This is about the opportunity." That's
Canelo said that, or Crawford?
Crawford.
Okay, yeah.
That's a hungry dog right there, and I think his odds are like plus 140 right now. It's a very even fight. He's up in weight, which I think some people are a little bit worried about. But I kind of like that hungry dog mentality, and that might be as much as I need to know for this fight. I got Crawford the underdog in this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm much more of a UFC guy. I don't really stay too tapped into the boxing stuff. I'll probably check this out, but I don't have a prediction on it nonetheless.
This is both of their big opportunities to kind of put boxing back on the map, because for so long it was like
Jake Paul couldn't do it?
Well, like, no, for anyone out there listening that remembers old school boxing, like back in the day, Tyson, even like I'm talking before Mayweather, like my life, other than like Mayweather, Fury, Wilder, like the guys for me have been Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
That's so sad.
But it's just the reality of where the sport's at right now. Like Paul and Tyson drew 126 million within 24 hours of it being up on Netflix, 108 million live across the world. Can this outdraw that? I'm extremely curious to see if they can put boxing back on the map. The problem is these guys are 35 and 37 years old. So like this is a huge global event. People around the world will be watching this. It's in Vegas. The Netflix thing I think is a huge for boxing itself. If the sport wants to grow, like this is the right avenue. But which one of these guys is like winning and staying around is like the face of boxing? I don't know. But I do know that this is the biggest boxing match since, and I'm not talking gimmick boxing, Mayweather Pacquiao. That seems really? A little extreme. Like I know Wilder and Fury had the 3 fights, but like I don't know. The Netflix thing seems like a big deal to me.
What about the Tyson Paul fight though?
Drew 126 million within 24 hours.
That fight sucked.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
The craziest part of that fight was seeing Mike Tyson's bare butt on my screen. It's like, what?
That was funny. That was the best part of that fight.
And I remember waiting 3 hours just to be like, that was the worst product I've ever seen in my entire life.
But at least it was free, right? You know?
Well, $8 a month on Netflix. But
Everyone had access to Netflix. Everyone still does, even behind all their rules.
That's true. All right. Should be interesting. 8 o'clock tomorrow night. All right. Now, our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Give me the San Fran spread. We went over it yesterday. There's just simply no way they're not winning by more than 3 points against this Saints team. A part of me also wanted to do A.J. Brown anytime touchdown, because anytime that there's like he has one of these games where he only gets one target, which he did last week in the opener, always follows it up with like, hey, here's 14 targets for A.J. Brown to keep him happy so he doesn't request a trade. So I love any A.J. Brown prop this weekend. Now I'm thinking about it, like I kind of wish I would have just done that as my lock of the day. But I feel just as good about this San Francisco thing. It's the worst team in the league in New Orleans. I don't think they're going to be able to score on the San Francisco defense. And I don't think the offense looks all that different with Mac Jones compared to Brock Purdy, the guy that Kyle Shanahan wanted all along in the 2018 draft. So I will take – no, that can't be right. 2021 draft? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the Niners to cover the 3.5 this weekend as my lock of the day today. No, Kittle sucks, but luckily they're going up against this pathetic New Orleans Saints team. Extra 3.5 points after the Mac Jones got named as starter. It was 6.5 down to 3.5. Seems like too many points, so I'll take San Francisco here. Taylor fade.
Am I allowed to do neither? Because when we did the spread picks, I was just like, I want to stay away from this. I just don't like either or here.
Well, you don't have to put. You're fading me.
Right, exactly.
You're fading me, not necessarily making a pick.
If I fade you, that means I'm picking Saints +3. You know,
it's not a part of your spread picks, though.
Right, but just in my head, like I just don't even want it. I don't want anything to do with this game. Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler in the Big 2025.
Mac Jones, Pro Bowler. For some respect on his name. All right,
sure,
fine.
I'll tail. Fine, I'll tail.
I feel like I pressured you into that. I'm sorry. I never want to pressure you into anything.
I appreciate that. Just an update for the people. If you do miss this bet today, you will be at an all-time low.
How? I had a great last week. How's that even
but
possible?
It was all minus bets, and you've also just lost 3 days in a row now up to this point. So
I don't like locking
21.04 units down all time currently.
Awesome.
And you've lost a week. So
great.
Yep.
That's our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, Colin Cowherd takes over the airwaves in about 3 minutes. Really like 7 minutes. What's he going to open with? That's what we predict. What's the score right now? Who's gotten it right more?
It's 16-12. Neither of us got one wrong or right yesterday. I think we were talking about he did a Packers open, but it was like basically saying the Packers are going to be really good. And then he predicted it right, and they beat the Commanders. So
whose turn is it to go first?
You're going first.
Oh, I'll just double down on that. Yeah. He's just going to glaze Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, calling them favorites in the NFC. He's seen enough. The division runs through that. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's easy open.
Yeah, it's there's no way it's not that. Quite unfortunate. I'm gonna have to zag and just go with something. Maybe there's a chance if he doesn't do this game, what could it be? Because I don't think he takes this Commanders route. There's just no way he talks about the Commanders over the Packers. So I will actually go. He's going to do a little Eagles-Chiefs preview, kind of talking about this Super Bowl matchup and how the Chiefs can respond. And if the Chiefs start 0-2, oh my God, is this the end of the Chiefs era kind of thing? So I'll do that. Am I confident in it? Not at all. It's for sure going to be Micah Parsons, Green Bay, Jordan Love stuff. But yeah, so it's 16-12. You're currently up. Probably going to be 17-12 on Monday.
That's a good zag though. Like odds were stacked against you on a Friday after a game like that where you don't get to pick.
Man,
that's a good zag though. You didn't try to go cute and go Commanders. You just full on went right to the primetime CBS
Imagine he just leads
game.
with like Deebo Samuel actually is back.
Wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
You can go a lot of different directions. All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in this week. You guys can give us a follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you do your social media stuff. We are there for you. Just give us a follow there, hoping to see the show continue to grow. This has been so fun over the past couple of months, and now we're heading into week 2 of the Lions season, so should be a good time here on 100.9 The Mitt. Appreciate everyone who subscribed today. Number's up to 415, so hoping to keep that number growing. What do you say? A week from today, we're looking at 450? Seems like a steep goal, but
it does. But why not? Maybe over the weekend we get like 10 more, and then it's just 25 during the week, 5 a day.
we just got to have a good hit on YouTube at some point this week. So appreciate everyone for staying tuned throughout the course of the week. It's been a really fun show, really fun week of shows leading up to this Lions game, which there's just so much pressure on the Detroit Lions, more so in this game than I can really remember in the regular season in the last few years. It feels like for the first time there's a high pressure situation for this Lions team. So hopefully they can pull things out on Sunday. That was the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll talk to you on Monday.